Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another race in the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2020 Spring Tournament here on Speed Gaming. I am Cyclone, and I'm joined by the one and only Elastoid. How are you doing, Elastoid?
I'm doing pretty great, Cyclone. We've got a pretty exciting race coming up here. We've got Highspirits, who's long been an icon, and we've got Kenny, who's sort of new to this particular randomizer, but does a lot of runs in vanilla Final Fantasy, so he's going to have a good background to draw on.
And that's what you really need for a randomizer like this, or any kind of randomizer. Having a background in the vanilla game helps you get into the randomizer a lot quicker because you know how everything works already. It's just a matter of learning how to find everything and move around the world in a different way. I am very interested to see how Kenny does in this seed and in this tournament overall. Should be a very exciting race here. So any predictions you have for this race?
I think that Highspirits currently has the edge. Okay, but hang on one sec. Yeah, I think Highspirits currently has the edge, but it looks like both of them are sort of out of practice, so they could anybody could win this one.
And we'll go ahead and we'll get the race started in just a moment here. So while we do that, chat, let's try a little game here, chat. What do you think is going to be in the magic shop today in Corneria? What do you want to see in the magic shop? Let's get some guesses in chat on that. See if anyone's right here.
It looks like they're underway, so get your guesses in soon, because you're gonna miss your chance.
Yeah, you're gonna get the restream delay catching up here in about 30 seconds. So we're seeing a stunned, confused, sleep 2, and Brack. Spectre, you are an evil person. I see a lamp. I see a lit.
And I don't see anything yet, so...
Oh, no, I'm reading on the chat. I'm reading the chat, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we should talk about the flag set while we're getting more guesses in chat. We're going to be playing, I believe it's the fire flag set this week?
These are the earth flags. So
Earth. Okay.
That means that the key item, incentivized item, is going to be in Earth Cave. And looks like
we have an interesting situation on Highspirit's side. Looks like his timer has started, but his game has not. I'm puzzled by that. Possibly an error on his side. We'll have to assume that for now. We are getting a look at the armor. I didn't catch it because I was watching what was going on the other side. I see exit in White Magic Shop.
Chain armor was available, and we've got a level 1 nuke and a level 1 temper. So that's a really nice early game magic to find, and also really nice late game magic to find.
Looks like Highspirits might have been having a problem. He's going back, and he's going to have to re-enter his party. Must have been a ROM problem.
That's a drag.
So he's already losing a minute here.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that can start a runner off in a panic. But it is typically it's a long randomizer. You know, if you're finishing in 90 minutes, you're in good shape. So don't feel too bad about losing 1 minute. Right? Yeah.
With that said, some of our races have been fairly close in this tournament. So not too many, but they have happened to be within a minute in some cases. So that minute could hurt him, and we just hope it doesn't come back to bite in this case.
Absolutely. And it looks like Exit is going to be promoted. Red Mage is learnable, but the White Mage is going to be able to have it right away. So that's going to benefit Highspirits. It's going to make him up more than a minute.
So Falchion, not really useful in this party set. And by the way, it turns out we do have a thief on KennyStar's side. It's not something I don't see very often, but I do see it once in a while. Usually you see a runner either go for magic or for the fighter and magic, or the One Punch Man black belt strats. By the way, you notice they get a free ship in these flag sets as well.
Yeah. So interestingly, KennyStarr does not have enough gold to have saved. So if these imps were to have anything negative, it could be a real drag for him. Thieves have been more common recently because there was a balance change for the thieves in this randomizer. Thieves will gain one more or two more hits than usual, and one more hit. Oh, is the defense sword on High Spirit side. So
Nice.
thieves will wind up hitting more times than the fighter once they're past level 15, and that's made them more common.
KennyStarr had a nice run over a Temple of Fiends, and Highspirits does get to the Temple first despite his setbacks, so pretty good run for him over to there as well after getting the shops cleaned out and examined.
Yeah, Kenny does have an advantage in terms of the experience right now. He took a little bit of a grind for imps just to get the first couple levels. So we find a ribbon and a light axe. This early game equipment is just massive.
That ribbon is a big one. Getting an early ribbon like that means that one character, whoever they decide, is going to be able to dodge most of the elemental spells and some of the elemental attacks in the game. You'll make them a much hardier character defensively. So that is a really big find early.
Absolutely. The light axe also no slouch. It's going to allow the fighter to use it as a sweeper against any kind of undead. So we find the slab and the tail.
Well, they're useful items, but they're not useful right now, so we don't really have any progression right now. This is a very interesting beginning.
Exactly. So that means that we're just, as per usual, looking for the canal. And the canal is going to be either with Matoya or with the dwarves, or potentially, dangerously, in Marsh Cave. Although, of course, there is also the chance that Bicky and Provoka is going to give us a canoe or something else that will allow us to progress.
That loose canoe can be a horrible thing as well, because if that's, or I mean, that I was going to talk about the canal. Yeah, the loose canal is a horrible thing to have sometimes because it can be in a very dangerous spot. I've seen some races decided by where that canal shows up.
Yeah, that said, in this seed, we've got Cure 4, we've got Exit, we've got Warp. If we were going to have to deal with the Marsh Cave, this would be the seed to do it. You've got level 1 nuke, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, we're going to nuke those pirates a good one here, and let's just see how quickly that comes out. Pirates are not very dangerous today. They're missing. Oh, there's a hit for 13, hit for 11. Another miss, and there's the nuke. And they're going to basically vanish now.
And we find on Kenny's screen, there's Matoya does not have anything that he was looking for. He's got an iron helmet, and that's all. So we are not going to be finding canal in there. There's still a chance that we find it with dwarves, and there is, of course, still a chance we could find like that adamant could turn into the canoe, and you could have Floater and Elflin. This could still very well be a jet seed.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to mention that adamant myself there, because I'm fairly certain Highspirits will be heading straight over to Marsh Cave. Dwarf Cave. We don't have a lot of other options at this point for him. So other than going to Elflin itself, and that's more for shopping than anything else. So I could see him going to Dwarf Cave, getting a little experience along the way possibly, and then heading south from there.
Yeah, and if they find any gold, Provoka's armor shop has both pro rings and gold bracelets. So that's going to be like close to end game equipment for all the mage characters and for the thief. So both players are going to be able to find end game equipment for 3 of their party members as soon as they find some gold.
Meanwhile, we have the Cat Claw in the weapon shop. Meow.
Cat Claw is technically endgame weapon for the Black Mage, but if the Black Mage is swinging the Cat Claw, something's gone horribly wrong. I think I've seen Artea win a seed where his fighter died and his Black Mage swung, or maybe with a Cat Claw, and just used Saber a whole bunch.
Highspirits took a reset after checking the items in Matoya, did not like what he found, did not want to work his way back, so not going to bother walking it back where he was.
Oh yeah, an iron helmet and 2,000 gold. I mean, you'll grab the 2,000 gold when you turn in the crystal, but it's not progression, and that's what he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to turn in this adamant, see what it gives him. and he's looking for a canal, and he finds a gold bracelet, which is nice. It's some gold, but it's not what he needs.
At least he doesn't have to buy it. Meanwhile, we have the chime, which again is not going to help us right now because we can't get in the base tower. So I think we're going to Marsh Cave.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. So both runners are going to be well prepared, but they may not enjoy the concept. There is still one more possibility. Elfland could have their vendor item. The vendor item cannot be the canoe, but it can be a fetch quest that turns into the canoe.
And that snake just got destroyed very quickly in one turn. Highspirits going to check. We'll actually get around the save first, 26 rupees, and he's not even going to check the shops yet. I thought he might check the magic, but he wanted to just save instead, it looks like. And he's just heading straight over to Marsh Cave, not even going to check the item shop. I might have checked that item shop quickly.
Yeah, you never know. Like, if you find the crystal in the item shop, and that turns into the canoe, you may regret it. But at the same time, it's unlikely that you'd be able to buy whatever it is. So it's still likely that Marsh Cave's going to be the correct play, even if you find the TNT in your vendor item, because it could very well be way too expensive.
So here we are in the Marsh Cave. We're going as usual to the upper side first because there's some treasure up there and it's a dead end. And if there's something good up there, we don't want to leave it up there.
Yeah, bones with cremate. So you're prepared for Marsh Cave, but this is not your favorite Marsh Cave. Because if bones ambush you, everybody who's not wearing a ribbon is going to be dead. Chat finding that particularly ominous. So it begins.
Yeah. I was going to mention the bones with cremate. That's a very heated battle, needless to say. So we're going to probably try and dodge that a little bit while we're here. Here are some zombies and some ghouls. And they are, let's see what they have. Nope, we're not going to see what they have. They just get nuked out of existence.
And that's how you want to go through Marsh Cave. You don't want to know what anything has. Right? You want to find out in SRL chat after the race is over that you missed out on damage poison and thunder and all that. But when it comes time to see these fights with these trash mobs, you just nuke them down. You don't give them a chance.
And an Iron Gauntlet is probably not what Highspirits had in mind, but that's almost $7,000. I think he might keep like that.
So it was the iron armor that he found, which is it's got the same absorb as the gold bracelet. So even though you get it a whole lot earlier, and its base cost is only 800 gold, it's got the same absorb as that gold bracelet. So he's gonna take the time to exit that out.
And he did. He actually used the exit as you said, and he did save that. So he is back in and facing gargoyles who are being very generous right now and not doing much to him.
Yeah, there's something in here, but you hope not to see it.
Ooh, some
Scorpions don't even need anything. They can just slap you down. So he rightly runs away very quickly.
That first chest was definitely not his progression. There's something in here, as we've been saying. There's the cabin. There's another cabin, the cabin room.
And Highspirits lucking out to get preemptives on these scorpions, so he doesn't even have to worry about them.
And here's the normal wizard.
No.
The normal wizard trap tail comes out with a horrible, horrible set of enemies today, and they're getting slowed down as well. So,
if they low-rolled HP, it could be an alright fight. But, they've got glare, but it misses.
By the way, KennyStarr just checked.
Low-roll HP, so if the Black Mage gets his nuke off, Highspirits is going to get a whole lot of XP for this.
I was going to note that KennyStarr did check the item shop as well. He did not find the loose item there, so we know that Highspirits did not miss anything there.
So Highspirits shoots straight up to level 9, preserving 1 exit charge on that White Mage. He has to be careful there. He doesn't want to. He wants to be able to get out of there. If he wipes to something, he's going to feel a little silly.
Did you open the chest?
I did not see what was in the chest. It is possible he forgot, although I really hope he didn't.
Oh, apparently he did. It was 83 gold according to chat. Thank you, chat. I was looking at Kenny's screen at the time.
Okay. You can see Highspirits just a little bit rusty. He's forgetting which chests are linked, though I made that same mistake earlier today. And the canal, the last chest he finds. So he's going to exit that out, and he's ready to go.
So that's going to give him access to the Earth area. We don't have a rod, so we can't do all of Earth Cave yet, but I'm actually wondering if this might be one of those seeds where we have to dig inside Earth Cave for another loose item to find something else.
There are 2 incentive items available right now, with possibly a third one down in Onrak. Right, so he could sail to Onrak and check for the vendor item there. It's got a 1 in 4 chance of being there right now. That's probably not the play he's going to make.
No.
The other 2 plays he's got, Vampire's Chest is incentivized in these flags, so he could check for that. Or he could go directly to Crescent Lake to check their item for free and see if the vendor item is there.
Right now, I think Crescent Lake is probably the best play of those options. He can go to Earth Cave and try to get some levels there while he's looking at items.
And Hangry he could also check to see if there's anything loose in Mirage, because he does have the chime, so that probably won't be the play, but chat asking for it, and you can root for it if you like.
Yeah, he's not going to do that at these levels, I don't think.
He's not going to do that.
I mean, I credit any runner who decides to do that and go for some quick levels and try to get to the end game early, but he's not going to do that.
Yeah, credit for their pluck, their...
KennyStarr is just fighting this bad. He does not want to get out of his way.
Yeah, if Kenny could start combat with that bat, he would, but he's forced instead to just wait for it to move. Their gumption is the word I was looking for. I admire the gumption of anybody who's going for a level 9 Mirage Tower, but I don't expect it to work.
Chad is reminding us we have a nuke, and that would be a make Mirage Tower a good play. I do see the point for that. Tangry Connect pointed that out. I can see his point on that.
Yeah, it is absolutely possible. It's just the problem with making a Mirage play on the boat is if it doesn't work out for you, you've lost a lot of time.
Indeed. And that's the only reason we suspect he won't do that. I think he will do Crescent Lake first because it is quicker. But then the question will be, which of the other 3 options he will choose? It could again be Onrak. If it's not Onrak, again, you've lost a lot of time. So I have a feeling Earth could be his next play. If he does make a play to one of those 2 northern areas, it will be a very gambling intense move.
Yeah, he's going directly to Crescent Lake. He's not even stopping at Melman to see if they have any good magic.
Yeah, and Melman I don't believe has an item shock, so it was destroyed by the speed bump, and therefore no point stopping there right now.
Yeah. You know, he could always turn in that slab. He could check for magic, but neither of those is urgent.
Well, the question will be, if we don't find it in Crescent Lake, what do we do then? Do you think he will just go straight to Earth, or do you think he will make the play? Because now he's going to be on the south end of the map. He can wrap around and get to
Crescent Lake
quicker.
Does not contain canoe and does not have if it doesn't contain canoe, then probably Earth Cave is the next step. If it has some sort of fetch quest. He may turn in that fetch quest first because there's a good chance that it could be Rod. And if you can get Rod before you go to Earth Cave, you're always glad you did.
Yeah, and I agree on that. You don't have the rods, you don't really want to go in there yet. But it's the same with Mirage right now. You don't have the cube, so you can't get to the top half of the dungeon. And who wants to right now with the high-level enemies up there at these low levels? So
the vendor
I can
item
see Mirage being a play.
And the vendor item is the loot in Crescent Lake. So he's likely to see if he can sell something or take a bit of a fight to get enough money.
Now, that's not going to help him in the short term, though. And the reason I say that is because the loot is an item that only gets used once in the game. It is literally in the last dungeon in the game. After we have all the orbs lit and everything else done, we have to get into that room using the Mystic Key, which we'll talk about later. It's actually for getting out of that room later. And then use the loot to break the rod inside that temple on the 3rd floor to get down to the main area. So that's the only time it's ever used.
That is true. The other thing though is when you get any kind of incentivized item, any progression item, you do gain 5% to any XP that you gain and any gold that you gain. So it's always nice to get those things early. That said, Highspirits is not going to take the time. He's just going to go turn in that herb and hope that he finds a canoe instead of finding some sort of whammy.
I think Highspirits is going to Earth.
Yeah, you may be right. It looks like he's not taking the south entrance to Elfland.
I thought he might have also, and I was going with what Ingrid
he's going
saying.
out.
Oh no! He hasn't checked Elfland. Maybe he forgot about the south entrance to Elfland.
No, he got the herb from the sages, so he's going to Elfland to turn that in.
But why not just the south entrance?
Yeah, I think he possibly did forget about the south entrance, but I mean he doesn't lose a whole lot of time because either way he's going to have to backtrack. You know, the exit to the inner sea is right next to Melman, and that's where he's about to go. So,
well, this assumes that he is going to Melman next, in which case I do agree that he's probably doing this because he plans to go to Melman. If he was planning to go south to the northern end of the world because it wraps around, then I could see in that case he might have considered taking the south entrance to Elfland.
Actually, it was pretty smart because this herb could easily turn into a crystal, it could turn into TNT, or worst case scenario, it could turn into the Mystic Key. And making all those checks is a lot easier from the inside than the outside. So he potentially yes, TNT. He saved himself some time by going the inner sea route. So I was confused at first, but it makes a lot more sense now.
Highspirits has not checked the magic in this area yet, which I find very intriguing. I don't believe he's checked anything in there.
No, Highspirits checked the magic and in fact purchased Life 2 for his red mage. Or not for his white mage. His red mage can't learn Life 2. But there was another spell there that he learned. Invisibility 2, yeah. He learned Invis 2.
But a lot of the black magic I saw in the level 4 black magic didn't look useful. I saw Stop in there.
Yeah.
Only useful on Pressure Luck.
Oh, wow, the ogres have Death Touch. That's fun.
Well, that is fun. And now that the King of Elfland is awake, or the Prince of Elfland is awake, we can go blow stuff up. So Highspirits is going to go do that. And there's your Earth Cave Rod.
So, Highspirits is level 9, which is important because it means that his white mage has a Life 2 charge. Because he's going to a town that does not have a clinic. So he's going to be able to save a little bit of time reviving that fighter with his Life 2 spell. So yeah, the whole seed pointing you towards Earth Cave.
It's a very linear seed so far, I'm finding.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone to Earth, which is where the progression is, before you got the rod, but nobody wants to do that, so nobody will. So his first time in Melmond.
And we already have the slab, so there is our progression from the king now being turned in.
This is going to be our first look at the magic. Life is white mage learnable. It's red wizard learnable. So the revival will be available to KennyStarr, but not until he class changes. Meanwhile, Highspirits has both Life 2 and Life on his White Mage. He is prepared to die many times.
I would love to see the Ruby show up here, and then we go to the 2 on the through the Titan's Cave, the Titan's Tunnel, get the cube out of one of those, and not get anything else that can help us for the time being. That would be a very interesting scenario.
Yeah, the ruby is the only one item that could get them flying, because the ruby could turn into the canoe and the floater. Otherwise, they're probably going to expect to find the canoe.
Ooh. Asps have cremate. I don't know if I saw that used already by one of them or not. But Highspirits gets to the house, goes out, and uses a cabin instead.
Yeah, that house worth taking just because you're gonna wind up using it right away. Mummies with Blaze. So not a particularly kind Earth Cave.
Yeah, they're very fire-rich enemies in Earth Cave, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, the asps are gonna be a problem because they come in packs, and so can the mummies. So
Yep, there's a pack of 3.
Gonna be a generally dangerous Earth Cave. That said, he's got the drop on these mummies, and he knows that Fire 3 is gonna be fine. He's got a light axe. He's got warp.
Oh boy,
he's got nuke. He's got everything he needs.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a problem.
It could be. If turn order goes the way it is, it looks like it will be. Yep.
BBBB is gonna have a nap now.
Fortunately, he does have Life 2, so he doesn't need a reset out of this. He's not even going to lose any time to it. He's going to gain a level. He's going to check these 2 chests. He's going to revive his party members, and then he's going to reset out, or he's going to exit out and use that house.
Mm-hmm. And we have a water trap tile.
He finds a water. Then those waters are not hitting very hard. I mean, they're hitting hard for now, but I mean, they're hitting. They're not doing very much damage. Oh, yep, he does have to reset out if the White Mage dies.
Yeah, that's an absolute necessity, because that is your Life 2 caster, and there's no clinic over here. It would take way too long to get him back, so easy wipe right there.
Yeah, but he did find a very interesting trap tile. He may not. He probably won't opt for it right now, but he can come back later if he chooses to, because that's going to be a lot of XP, and they're not doing nearly as much. Oh no, he's going for it this time.
He'll go for it this time. He found out what the items were. He's going to give it one more try. If he can't do it,
not
he
a
may
good
just
start. He gets ambushed, and he's going to need turn order here.
The nuke
that
is
nuke
working.
Going off. Let's see how much HP these waters have. Oh, they are on the high side, and the
that Cure 4 is going to be wasted.
Yeah, the Cure 4 not going off in time, so we're gonna see if he's got the second nuke off, and yeah.
Wow, they are strong.
So it's gonna take 2 nuke charges and potentially more before he can kill them all. So it's not likely that it's gonna be in one round. Could still theoretically be a grind, but it's not likely to be anymore. With those high rolls on the water HP, he would have to be pretty desperate.
So all paths go through a required Earth Cave, but this Earth Cave is not messing around today. This is going to be a test of strength coming through here, and then from there we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like Highspirits' chances just because he's got that extra White Mage. He's not going to get as favorable Like he may be ambushed more often than someone with a thief, and he's not going to get as favorable run luck, but he's going to be absolutely fine in terms of having the resources to get through. And the Sun Sword is an excellent pickup.
That's fantastic. That's one of those weapons that can definitely help at this point. Now, I believe it's... is it locked to promotion, or is it used right now? I didn't see if it was equipped right now. I think it's equipped now.
And it looks like Ryu Quetzalcoatl with a raid of 1,200 people. So thank you very much for that.
Wow.
And welcome to everyone to Speed Gaming 3. We are currently watching a Final Fantasy Randomizer race between Highspirits and KennyStarr. Highspirits, some may know from his 87-hour marathon run of Dragon Warriors 1 through 9.
Wow. And we're getting the chorus of good luck, go fast in the chat from everyone coming over. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we are in the middle of this race, as you noted. Highspirits versus KennyStarr, week number 2 of the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2020 Spring Tournament. 6 weeks of round-robin play. Then we're going to come to a bracket format from there.
Okay, considering the vast majority of our runners haven't seen anything thus far, let's do a little bit of an update, or a little bit of a recap, rather. So we had early magic was really strong. We had Nuke and Temper and Exit on the first level. We had Warp and Cure 4 available level 2. We had Life 2 and Life available level 4. So these runners have everything that they need. But this Earth Cave is the only remain in place with an incentive item. And so far, it's just like it's been a slog. We've got Asps with Cremate, and we've got Mummies with Blaze. So we're gonna see if we can get through here. Also, if they run into ogres, they have Death Touch.
We just saw the bulls. I don't think we saw anything nasty on them yet, but they do appear outside Crescent Lake as well. We may see them again, or they may even show up here again. We are going to check the chest here because we are still looking for some progression. Aegis Sealed is nice, but it's not progression.
Absolutely, and you got to be careful. Those ogres there, they have Death Touch, so you'd prefer 4 Grogers if one of those ogres shows up in that encounter, because it's, I believe, 2 to 4 Grogers and 1 to 2 ogres. So if you get fewer than 4 ogres, you could wind up dealing with that Death Touch.
Ooh, I didn't catch which one cast, but one of these undeads has looks like Dazzle. Stun the fighter.
Yeah, Dazzle not super awesome, but it's not close to the most dangerous thing that you can see here.
I mean, there are situations where it can be absolutely detrimental, and I have definitely seen it combined with something like Damaged Poison, literally cause an instant wipe. But in this circumstance, with 4 live warriors and very low casts, it isn't too dangerous at this point.
Yeah. The other thing that Specty pointing out there, it means that they have a skill list. And when you know that they have a skill list, you don't really want to see what's behind it, because it could go Dazzle and then Damage Poison for fun.
Indeed.
Or Stone Poison, which you have a ribbon for, but it would still be a drag to find.
Yeah, there's one race gone down in legend with something like that. So definitely something that has happened and is known. We have a dead red mage and a dead black mage and a dead fighter.
And he
good luck, white mage.
He resets out. His white mage has the ribbon, so his white mage could theoretically have survived that.
I think the problem was more that he would have had to revive all 3 of them.
Yeah,
and
but he
use
does
the house
have
to get
live
the
2
recharge.
charges, so...
Yeah, how many charges does he have now?
That's a good question. He's at level 9, so he should only have 2, you're right. It's possible.
Probably didn't want to use 2 houses.
Oh, and 2 ogres.
Oh boy.
He was out of life 2 charges, chat saying. Well, that's a drag, and a lot of things in here want to kill you, so...
And this is a required step. This is, yeah, Yeah, without the ability to use Life 2, KennyStarr is going to have a difficult time here.
Yeah, so Highspirits in his second go-round, he's going to check those chests that he knows do not contain progression. Going to be interested to see if he goes for the one chest in this room coming up that he didn't check yet. It is behind the vanilla earth tile, which in this case we know is is 2 Nagas and 4 to 6 waters.
There's a good chance that that chest could very well be our progression, so he probably has to check it.
It could, yeah. Those death touch ogres not being particularly kind, so he's down to 1 live 2 charge. And Kenny's so far not having too much trouble, but you've got to expect he will.
At some point, there's those ogres right now. I don't know if he's seen the death touch yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it might be an idea to take a few levels before heading back in at this point. That seems to be what Highspirits is trying to do. He's trying to get some good...
it looks like he's trying to burn a few encounters, because he ran into the same list of encounters twice, and he has no intention of running into them again. Meanwhile, Kenny found the canoe in that chest. This is one of the arguments some people would make for a thief. He managed to ambush the ogres and grogers when they showed up, and didn't have any trouble against the mummies. So all the stuff that Highspirits had to deal with, Kenny just skipped and jumped into a massive lead.
That's a good lead right now. Yeah, that was one trip through. Now, he could still have problems down here. We'll have to find out.
And not to check the chests up in the north end of this floor.
And by the way, I didn't see... but was there an enemy in that last room?
Was there a witch?
An enemy in that last room on the 3rd floor?
I didn't see.
Okay, must be nothing important. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Grimps and a werewolf for KennyStarr right now, and they're just nuked out of existence.
So KennyStarr, possibly not aware of exactly how dangerous this Earth Cave is. He's not even seems considering warping out, although there's a good chance that Highspirits, when he finds his canoe, will nope out, because this is a dangerous Earth Cave.
Well, KennyStarr is going to actually go straight to Lich, it looks like. Didn't check anything on the 4th floor, going straight to the orb.
Yeah, KennyStarr not running into any asps, not running into any ogres. Well, not having to deal with them, and not dealing with any mummies. So Highspirits finally gets turn order against these mummies, and it looks like he is going to skip that one chest.
Meanwhile, we have a Lich fight on KennyStarr's side, and this could be a little tougher for a Lich fight. Well, maybe not with Nuke. Nuke will take about half of his vanilla HP. There's 42 for the Light Axe. Another Nuke drops another 101. Lich does have some HP, though. Fighter is going to take another 162 out of it, so he is over his vanilla 400 HP. Not as weak as we usually expect, but a Light Axe for 51 does the job.
Yeah, so Lich with close to vanilla HP, and Lich looked like he wanted to reach out and swing, which is not usually a good strategy for a caster like Lich.
And Highspirits did go through, but I think I just saw a blood-covered speed bump in there.
Yeah, so Highspirits finds the canoe, and credit to him, he knows exactly how dangerous this Earth Cave is, and he opts to continue anyway. He's going to forge ahead. He doesn't want to come back.
Yeah, he's going to check the rest of the chests here. If he finds another loose item in here, this is going to be an advantage for him.
Absolutely. And I believe he did pick up warp. Oh, he's gonna run into 2 trap tiles here.
A Sphinx. And Not taking a lot of damage, but that nuke does cause a lot of damage.
Yeah, that trap tile is vanilla. Oh no, he remembered the trap tile and doesn't take the second one. That Sphinx is vanilla. And he's going to use that warp to get out of there, skip those extra steps. Which,
not a bad idea.
Yeah, this floor does not have... It doesn't have asps. I don't believe that it has mummies, and I know it doesn't have ogres. So this floor, considerably safer than the other floors. Vanilla, you'd be scared of the cockatrices. You'd be scared of the wizards. This floor can hurt you.
Yeah, this floor can cause problems in vanilla. KennyStarr, meanwhile, is in the river.
Yeah, so that canoe even... Oh, and the water's showing up.
And meanwhile, KennyStarr finds a Hydra and Ocho. They are runnable.
Yeah, he's gonna escape, but needs to avoid these trap tiles.
And onto the volcano for KennyStarr, as he's going to be the first runner of these two to get to the bulk of items on the second floor. Is he going straight to the treasury? He is going straight to the treasury.
Yeah, and what he skipped in Earth Cave was Excal and the ribbon. So... Highspirits finding exactly what he wanted to find in those chests right there.
The good news for KennyStarr is it's not progression that he skipped, but that ribbon is going to be something that he misses as the sea continues.
Mummy's still spamming Blaze.
Oh boy.
Oh wow. And
oh boy.
And the lone red mage.
He needs
has 1 life, 2 charge, and 1 cure 4. He's gonna go for it. He's saying.
I was gonna say, would you exit at this point? What do you think?
I think if I stuck around, I would definitely move the ribbon to that red mage. But he's got nuke on the red mage. That's gonna be good enough. I would definitely make the attempt.
Yeah, nuke is good for the Lich fight for sure, even more than whatever FFFF could have right now.
Yeah, he made the and he's gonna do it. All right, so
he remembered about the ribbon after that fight.
He could even put the sun sword on the red mage if he wanted to.
Oh no, not right.
Oh, and he gets turn order again. Like, he needs turn order on these mummies.
If that was a wipe, that would have been horrible. We have bad men on KennyStarr's side. Here's the nuke fight. This will be interesting on Highspirits' side here.
Yeah, he should have put the light axe on the white wizard, or white mage, but it should be fine. 3 nukes should get this done.
And there's another one. So that's about 350 or 400 HP right now, somewhere in that range.
Does everything have Blaze?
Yeah, this is a very hot Earth Cave today.
Oh, and Lich still has some HP, and he's out of spell charges, and did not move the Sun Sword or the Light Axe.
Oh no!
So he's gonna see if he can punch Lich, and Lich can punch back. Oh, that's
not. Yeah, that's a lot of time lost.
That is a lot of time lost, and you hate to see it.
Yeah, the exit would have made more sense than come back later to get Lich when you have all the strength, because at that point you've seen what everything is in Earth Cave.
Oh, well, after that, you could easily have taken Lich down if you had 1 more charge of nuke, if one of those nukes had high rolled, or if you remembered to move the Sun Sword or the Light Axe, because any of those could have handled it. You know, like, I don't think that Highspirits was wrong to push forward. It just did not go his way, and that was a mix of bad luck and a slight failure of optimization.
Yeah, it is true that there are things that could have been done to avoid, but at the same time, I have seen some runners just bail out at that point and literally come back later knowing that they're going to turn Lich rather into a speed bump later when they do that. So it's really down to runner preference at that point. Highspirits gave it a shot, it didn't work out, and the gargoyles are unrunnable, so he has to take this fight.
Yeah, so quite a bit of useful equipment we're finding in Gurgu. So KennyStarr is not sitting on his lead. He's moving forward. And he opts not to check that the chest with the trap tile.
And there's the cabin and 1,210 gold for him.
Yeah, making pretty good progression through this this Gurgu volcano. Now this is yes, Specty, it would have been the same as you saw before in the armory floor. So I believe that was bad, man.
So KennyStarr is on the 5th floor now.
Yep, question from Synth in chat. This is a race between people who are 0 and 1. Highspirits, I believe, lost a match to Dengwu. And I know Avis Ruin, who is our tracker today, the one who beat Kenny in his first round.
So here's another group of undead. One of these guys has Dazzle, I remember.
Gershark's on the Agama tile, and that's gonna be a pretty good grind.
Grey worms, yeah.
Oh, you forgot the chest, Kenny. You gotta go back.
Well, he gets to grind some more.
Well, you can't grind by running away.
No, can't.
That pure pot not particularly worth it, but no, those Gersharks, they rolled fairly low on their HP. They can be taken out by 1 nuke. It has to high roll, but they can definitely be taken out by 2 nukes. So that could be a good grind tile for later. That's going to be on the Agama tile.
So Highspirits is collecting his canoe again.
Yeah, so we've seen that Twilight fan 3 times so far. Hopefully we don't see him again until he brings all of his friends in Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Or Mirage Tower, I believe he's in too.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And to answer the question in chat, no, you saw nothing. Just go back. Just carry on.
So KennyStarr facing Carry at the same time as Highspirits is on his way to Lich. This could be a 2-orb lead.
Well, we are on Carry right now, yeah. So KennyStarr is using nukes on Carry. Carry is using fast on herself. That's not good. So let's see if that gives her more ability to survive this fight. Probably not. Nuke for 398. That's a good damage for Nuke. And Carry goes down. So yeah, 2 orbs lit already for KennyStarr, and we are only 45 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, Highspirits having to deal with the water tiles. This is one of the most frustrating rooms in the game, is where he is, because you've got a lot of trap tiles that are very close together, and you've also got bats that are very interested in getting in your way and preventing you from moving through without stepping on the trap tiles. So
yeah, we kind of want the bats to go on the trap tiles.
Ava's pointing out that Kenny has skipped a lot of chests, so he's hoping that won't come back to haunt him.
He's banking on Ice Cave, it looks like.
So far, we've not found either loose item. So, the floater could well be loose. But to answer Future Sight's question, Erdrick's sword is Excalibur, I believe. So he has located it, and he's attempting to get through with it.
There's a couple giants. Let's hope we don't have another blaze round.
Yeah, just needs to avoid the mummies, and he's gonna rightly heal up after every fight. He does not want to be surprised by mummies again.
Or that troll. It actually almost
So
makes
it's
sense
Lich
for him to
round
heal up.
2. This is likely to go a lot faster.
I was gonna say it might make sense for him to heal up after the Lich fight, just in case somebody's trying to surprise him on the way out.
Well, he does have 2 ribbons, so he's gonna be confident now.
Yeah, that was one turn. That was no problem, and the mummies did not surprise him, and he is finally out of the Earth Cave at 47-44.
And he'll have seen that Lich had a very low HP. That he probably was almost had Lich dead at the time that he had cast those 3 nukes. So that's the kind of thing that makes you shake your head.
Yeah, knowing you were probably about 5 HP away from doing it, and you had to redo it. So KennyStarr getting to the 3rd floor right now. We're not gonna see. Actually, we do have warp, so he can get the item from the incentive chest right now if you want. Or wait a minute. Yeah, I think black uses warp, so he would have warp.
Yeah. Just to Hangry Canuck's point about Masfian being better than Erdrick's sword, you'll remember that the only sword really that you see in both games is the Flame Sword. And Masfian and Excalibur are both significantly better than the Flame Sword, and Erdrick's sword is marginally better. So you can rate Erdrick's sword about where you would maybe the Ice Sword or the Vorpal.
So an update, we have the Oxyel in Ice Cave. So that's going to give access to the Sea Shrine once we do decide to head up to the Onrak area. We can go there without the airship. We do have the canoe now, so we can go there without the airship. We can check waterfall while we're up there, but you typically want to go with the airship.
Yeah, so let's see if Highspirits goes for Earth Cave, or rather Ice Cave or Gurgu. He's going for Ice Cave. Highspirits, when he was in the La Tour de Conneria, he was part of Team Roadhouse, which were known for their aggressive strategies, and this still hasn't changed. So Highspirits going to go for the play with the incentivized item, even though he knows that's a much more difficult dungeon.
We have a Chimera Trap Tile. By the way, his thief is currently taking a nap, so the sneaking around is not as good right now. Yeah,
Kenny naming his thief Gene. That is a common theme among the fans of Saint Von Jester, who names his character Gene. And what's known on his stream is that Gene is always destined for death. So while he may or may not choose to revive him later, for now, Gene is taking the dirt nap, and that's where he usually belongs.
And it's worth pointing out as well that the reason he is in the lead right now is because of Gene, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah, it's not something that most people might expect. There are a few thief apologists out there who would argue that, of course, he's in the lead because of his thief. But yeah, one of the things about thief is you don't really notice when it's working, because you don't notice all of the things that you miss out on dying to.
Yeah, what you do notice is that you don't have the ability to use this spell because you don't have this in your party, and why didn't you use this instead of a thief? But he didn't see really almost any of the danger in Earth Cave there.
Yeah, that said, he does have the White Mage, so he's got access to Exit, he's got access to Life 2 on Highspirits' side. It's going to be hard to see which one's more important. And the Wraiths have Quad X. Now, Quad X is going to kill anything that has lower than 300 HP, so it's going to be a threat to kill any of Highspirits' characters. But not Ace here.
Yeah,
as
Ace.
KennyStarr gets out.
Ace is nice and healthy. That Quad X isn't going to bother him at all.
So finding that Oxyale means that you're not going to find the floater in here. Floater could be in Ordeals, could be in it could be in Waterfall, and it could be the vendor item in Oasis or Onrak. So south would be the way to sail there.
Well, first he has to get back to the ship. Let's see if he actually picks up on that. And he does go straight south. He pretty much has to. He's running out of places here to go since he hasn't checked some of the chests here.
Chat pointed out, Kenny also has a significant lead in level.
He indeed does, and that was because Highspirits lost a lot of time on 2 or 3 wipes or resets that cost him probably about 15-20 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah, so Kenny lit his first orb at about 36:30. All right, he lit his
came
orb.
in behind.
Yeah, he lit his orb about a little over 10 minutes before Highspirits did. And that's just because of the wipes that Highspirits had to deal with that Kenny did not.
Yeah, Highspirits was in Earth Cave at around 25-30 minutes somewhere. Didn't write down the exact time he went in, but he was there for a while. And KennyStarr took the lead on the 3rd floor while Highspirits was getting blazed and cremated all over the place.
Yeah, so Kenny is not going to have the level lead for very long, as Highspirits has found the grind tile that he chooses to take advantage of. That is the fighter tile. This encounter will give you 1 or 2 fighters, and they are always worth a great deal of XP.
He's only done a couple of them, though.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna...
You can't exhaust your spell charges in Ice Cave, especially when you don't know if something's going to come out and kill you, so he doesn't waste too much time.
Yeah, as I was saying, he's not going to use all of his time there because he knows that those spell charges are going to be needed somewhere else.
But he's going to jump out to level 14, and that's going to make it easier for him to handle just about everything that's in Ice Cave. Including making his fighter immune to Quad X, which he may or may not even know is out here. And he's going to find the Chimera tile.
Well, he is now vulnerable to Quad X, and he's dead already.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
RRR is dead, and Highspirits
Chimera's
is just getting...
reaching out and touching him. He is just not having a good run of it this time.
Highspirits is just being put through the blender today. My goodness.
Yeah, turn order has not been in his favor for the majority of these things. It's one of those seeds where like you just feel constantly like you can't catch a break.
Meanwhile, KennyStarr, not paying any heed, continues into the waterfall. We're going to see what the kind robot at the end gives us.
Yeah.
First the mummies, and he's going to get to see Blaze here, I'm pretty sure, if he doesn't get the turn order.
Highspirits getting Quad X'd. He's
wow, the turn order!
I don't know if KennyStarr knows they have Blaze.
I don't think he does.
He's got great turn order every single time.
Jeez, I didn't know the thief did that. Hey, gas dragons.
So KennyStarr apparently spending all of his time before the race just bless RNG. May or may not.
KennyStarr giving us a look at Out of Bounds Bat. Wanted to make sure that everyone in chat got to see Out of Bounds Bat. Everyone say hi to Out of Bounds Bat.
Yeah, he says hello to Out of Bounds Bat, and that's supposed to bless you with good RNG, but I think he already had it. And some fans of Gyre posting his emote for Out of Bounds Bat.
That's what that is.
Which makes me sad that I don't still have a subscription to Gyre. I'm going to have to go through that after this, because Out of Bounds Bat is, of course, important for commentators. So the robot has the vanilla cube, which is useful, but isn't immediate. Well, I guess it allows you to go into Mirage, but what we really like to find is a float.
Oh my gosh, the sorcerers.
The sorcerers have lit too. Another thing we did not know.
Highspirits is just getting ringed.
Oh man, Highspirits, don't blame me. It was Greggly Puff who rolled this seed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was sad that you didn't roll the seed, Cyclone. We all remember Cyclone seeds were a meme for a good long while.
Hey, you mentioned you were talking about Dazzle being dangerous in certain combinations. That was my first seed roll. That's a legendary race from 2018 now. We won't talk about it too much, but it's a thing of legend right now. Couple wraiths on High Spirit side. He's going to try to go back to that 6 chest room and collect what he likes out of that, which is a house and a money and a knife. And he doesn't go back to the top 3 chests. So there was like something copper in one of those.
Yeah, High Spirit's not sure what was in the Chimera chest, but he doesn't need to check it, because we know that it wasn't useful. It's just like a Vorpal or something.
And the Chimeras, by the way, pretty much killed him.
Yeah, Quad X can be a very useful spell when you get... Oh my god, the mummies!
Yeah,
and
the mummies
can't get turn order, and there's the Blaze.
Slain.
Wow! He actually lucked out. Blaze low rolled on his Black Mage, so he's going to be able to continue here.
But FFFF is the one not getting the experience, and he's the one who really needs the experience. So that's going to be a little experience loss for him there.
Yeah, but experience from a few mummies, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he should be fine still, but... Oh, Loco's just wandering around out here.
Yeah, so we're going to see what the... Oh, no, we won't see what the trap tile is for this. He also had Warp. Okay, so High Spirits, finally in the clear.
He'll just use exit from here. He's not going to get blended again.
And he is roughly 25 minutes behind, I think. Just from all of these unfortunate wipes.
Oh, there's a 65,535 gold, the highest number of gold I think you can have in a chest, because I believe that's the highest number that can be rolled.
Yeah, I believe it's just the highest number. I have yet to hear anybody quote me a number higher than that.
Yeah, that is the highest number that can be stored in the bytes that are on the NES tile, so you can't have a number higher than that.
Yeah, it is also the highest number in existence. I believe that is equal to the U.S. Federal budget and the amount of wealth that Mark Cuban has. Is 64,000 or something.
We'll figure that out later. As High Spirits heads into the volcano, and it's going to get his look at the items in the treasury. Will he check more chests for loose items?
So High Spirits, I mean, I don't want it to happen, but I bet he's going to wipe to Bad Man.
Well, it could happen.
Like, I don't want it to happen.
We are going to see the other chest here. This is important, because if there's a loose item here in its progression, KennyStarr left it behind. Now, the good news is KennyStarr can easily come back and get it, but will he remember to come back and check this is the question.
Peas have Fire 3? Because of course they do.
Because of course everything has fire in some form today, some way, shape, or form.
Oh my god, he's so... Like, my heart goes out to him. High Spirits has 2 hats that he likes to wear.
Oh, we have the Whiz Ogres. I wonder if they have Stone Touch.
Yeah, he has 2 hats that he likes to wear that he believes bless him with godly RNG. He told me that he wasn't wearing one for this race. I'm curious as to whether he's put one on by now, an hour into the lead.
And there's a very small, measly amount of gold that he's not going to be happy he stopped for.
No, he's being very methodical, checking all the chests. With 2 items still loose, that's the right play. And also, it's potentially the way he's going to get ahead. Because if he finds, actually, what could be loose now?
By the way, before we even talk about that, KennyStarr, he checked a few chests. I didn't see what was in them, but he's already on the first floor. He's off to Kraken. He's going for the quick orb, for the quick 3-orb lead here, not even thinking about anything else.
Yeah, if Highspirits finds the Mystic Key, then that's going to be a big deal. And finding the tail would also be potentially.
We have the tail. We have the tail. We have the tail.
Oh, we have the tail. Yeah, so it's really just the key. And he's going to see the bad man, the unrunnable bad man. Because life is awesome.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Of course, there had to be 8 of them.
And the turn order gives all 8 of them an attack before he can do anything. That's beautiful.
he has never gone first. But they're going to be fairly weak. They rolled low HP, so he's going to be able to get through this. And 4,000 XP is not going to be. He's not going to be sad to have it.
He will need to heal though.
Yeah, he's likely to.
Opal shield blocked by that.
He's likely to warp out and or to exit out and then save and then continue.
I would do that, yes. From here, he already checked that chest. He's gonna actually do another grind because he likes that 4,000 experience.
Yeah, he knows that if he can get turn order, then he's got this. But he also knows that the words "if he can just get turn order" typically mean never for him. So.
Meanwhile, release the Kraken, as KennyStarr has pulled that fight, is using the white shirt for invisibility. Down his black wizard already, so he's doing it without that, but no problem. Down goes Kraken, and we have 3 orbs lit for KennyStarr. And Highspirits, the reason he's doing this is because he knows he survived 8 punches from the Badman already. They don't have any nasty spells or anything, so he just has to survive 8 punches, get his nuke out, heal, do it again until he runs out of charges.
Yeah, Highspirits has had enough of these idiotic wipes. He wants to be massively over-leveled versus the things that he's seeing, and he found a tile that's going to allow him to do that. He knows he's exiting out. He knows he's using a house, and these haven't hurt him too bad, so he's going to continue.
Haven't hurt him too bad, or words that are probably very good right now.
Yeah, the bad men have treated him better than even vanilla ogres, or rather, just the ogres, the mummies, the asps. Like, he's wiped to everything but the bad man.
So Highspirits has gone out, he's back in, and he is going to go down to the 3rd floor, and we're going to probably see him check all the chests on the 4th floor. I did see Kenny start checking some of these chests. I believe he got a few. I don't know if he got all of them. So we should see them all on Highspirits' side, I would say, at this point.
Yeah, to answer question in chat, no, we have not found one loose item yet. However, we know that the only key item that we need is the key. So, loose item and I guess the floater would be.
I was gonna say, is that a pun?
So, a floater could be loose.
The floater may not be needed. I have seen floaterless seeds before. Yeah, so the key is the only item we need. As long as the key is not locked behind the airship, we don't need the floater.
Floater is not necessary, and one of the general rules about a floaterless seed is it will throw you a dragon armor, will throw you an Excalibur. You know, if you don't get a class change, it's going to make you regret not being able to class change.
Yeah, all those things you can't use. I think you have to have the class change to use Vorpal as well, don't you?
Yes.
So now you know why I like Mazimune. Now you know why I like Mazimune, everyone.
Yeah, Highspirits gonna be interested. He's glad to find that ice armor, but at the same time, he's particularly glad because he knows that it resists fire magic. So if he had had that when he was dealing with Blaze, that would have been great. But it'll save him from the Fire 3 that the Peds are throwing out. It'll save him from the cremate of any asps.
KennyStarr made good use of his warp charges and got to the end of the second floor. He's now upstairs in the why did I forget the name of this all of a sudden? Oh, Ordeals, Castle of Ordeals.
Yeah, in the Temple of Ordeals, or Castle of Ordeals. And he's taking out those zombies, making some good use of the strategy of just grabbing XP as you go. He finds a trap tile with a bunch of wolves. I don't think he's going to grind those.
No, he found there was a great axe found, some silver shield in Ordeals. Going to pick up that silver shield and make sure it gets put in use somewhere on Ace, it looks like. And the Zeus gauntlet was moved up to Jean, so it looks like Jean might be brought back to life to use that.
Yeah, Jean's got a few caster items that could potentially be useful.
And there's the pure pot for Highspirits.
Yeah, Highspirits is going to grab his pure pot and be super glad that he got it. He's running from these Gersharks. He already did his grind on the bad men. It's unlikely that he's going to grind much anymore.
Yeah, at this point, he's just going to take some fights along the way that he has to take and then get some high HP ones that he just runs into. Carry is now pulled 4 Highspirits at 1 hour and 9 minutes.
So yeah, Highspirits looking to light his second orb still.
Ruby!
So that ruby is going to be potentially an item. Oh, and there's now this is everybody's favorite grind tile if they can manage it. The four worms.
Well, this one's only 3, but he was thinking about whether to do this, and it looks like he decided to try Quake. Quake is not doing anything to him. He has to play the fight. He is an unrunnable fight, it looks like. So he does have to play it. Gonna use temper.
And Nuke is actually usually going to take these guys down after 2 casts.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have. He's not using Nuke. Either that or he's out of charges. So that's why he's using temper, it looks like.
Yeah, he's still got a comfortable lead. He's going to be fine.
He did have a nuke. He was just preparing Ace to do some work here.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just use 2 nukes?
Well, I mean, he wanted to troll chat because he knew that they were going to be really upset. Nuke shares a level with temper, so he was using his temper charges, which were also his nuke charges. No,
you're saying he was having a temper tantrum?
No, chat pointed out correctly. He was playing it safe. If one of those worms were to reach out and kill his black mage, then he wouldn't have any nuke charges, and his fighter would be left to just swing his sword. So he was making absolutely certain that he was going to be able to get through that fight by putting those temper charges on the fighter. Typically, I think most runners would want to get through that fight as soon as possible, just in case. So they would want to throw the nukes out immediately, but that was the way that he had concluded that he would most likely make it through that fight.
And even though we now know that 2 nukes did kill the worms, he could have done that a lot sooner. You are absolutely right. If the black mage did get wiped, then yeah, that would have been a case where it would have made sense. But nonetheless, he is back to the Earth area now that he finally has his ruby, which he had to wait for a while to get. He is going to go and feed the Titan. Say hello, Titan. Well, actually, no. Say hello, Grey Wolves.
So they're going to be 2 key items behind this ruby, because he hasn't been able to visit Sarda. So it's likely that one of them is gonna be the Mystic Key.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. And down we go. Actually, no, up we go to save first. And then we'll go and check the item.
Yeah, not a bad play. It's good to be able to ensure that the that an exit will let him right out. And of course, we don't get to find out if it's good yet. Chat saying bonkin' Thorhammer.
Welcome to Fetch Quest Central, ladies and gentlemen.
If it turned into bonkin' Thorhammer, that would be just about Highspirits' best hope for catching up in this race. Although he does visit Ordeals first.
Let's have an Opal Cheerio here. What do you say?
Highspirits is going to make these checks not too long from now.
The key! This is a floaterless seed, ladies and gentlemen. He can go straight to Mirage Tower.
He can go straight to Mirage Tower. It remains to be seen if he will. I feel like I would probably turn in that crystal and see if it was a floater, but we'll see what Kenny opts to do here. Kenny making excellent time. He's got 3 orbs lit in what's so far been a floaterless seed, and he's 70 minutes in. That is just incredible time. He's flying through this seed.
He is doing absolutely amazing in terms of getting through this seed quickly. So we'll be very curious to see what the final time for him is. He doesn't have a timer, we noticed here, but we are following Highspirits' timer.
He doesn't see the death touch on the ogres.
He's not saying anything.
It's been a little bit of luck, but you can't go through this fast without being at least a little bit skillful as well. You know, so I mean, you got to have your hat off to Kenny right now. He's doing just really well.
And so it's true what they say. There's quotes about this. You have to be good to be lucky, and you have to be lucky to be good. It's absolutely coming true for KennyStarr right now. He is having the best luck in the world right now, and it's resulting in a great run for him.
Yeah, meanwhile, Highspirits on that worm fight, it looks like he's made up a fair amount of ground, but he has yet to do waterfall, and he's still hasn't lit his other orbs. So he's gonna take that ruby out, and he's gonna gain a little bit of ground, but he's still behind. He still needs to find a floater if he's got any hope of coming back.
Yeah, he still has a lot of work to do in order to catch up. We need to have a nasty Temple of Thieves revisited for Highspirits to have a chance to get back in this. I think the issue is that such a horrible Temple of Thieves revisited could actually be helped with a living thief. So that may not even be something that affects the race.
Yeah, but it could also be helped by having 2 mages who can cast life.
Yeah, and that's one thing the KennyStarr will not have, the ability to bring his party back to life.
So, Nasty Temple of Fiends is basically Highspirits' only win condition right now. He's taken the same path that KennyStarr is. Or that KennyStarr did, rather checking Waterfall before he goes up to turn in that ruby. Chat looking for some Death Touch Blaze Ambush Germadeuces.
Ooh, spicy. I think there's memories of a certain race between a certain Will Cleosis, I believe it was Trenton the other one? Was that who it was?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to, so yes, exactly.
From last year.
Was that his Dragon Slayer?
That was the Dragon Slayer, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of those legendary races in FF Randomizer.
Yeah, that was
Tristal.
That was
I do
Tristal.
start with Tristal. Yeah, Tristal.
Tristal and Trenton easily confused because they're completely different people, but they have similar screen names.
So Highspirits finding all the wonderful things he can't pick up here, as well as all the gold he can pick up, and a cube that he can pick up.
Yeah, he's hoping to find floater. Every time he finds something that isn't floater, he's not particularly impressed with it. And now
Here's
he's
the-
got to decide whether to go through on-rack right now or to turn in that ruby.
Here's the problem right now. If he finds the floater right now, he's going to be on a wild goose chase all over the place to all the incentive locations that he does not need. The floater is the worst thing he could find right now.
I tend to disagree. If he finds a floater, he can get a class change, and he will be able to immediately go for example, Sarda and find that key. Right. So
there are benefits, but we'll have to see.
He's aware of what he needs. He knows that he needs the loot. He knows where that is, and he knows he needs the key.
We'll have to see how it plays out. So, KennyStarr is sailing the high seas right now himself. Both are sailing the high seas. We can't really comment much beyond that right now. KennyStarr is, we'll see where he ends up. Highspirits is in the on-rack area, it looks like right now, just on the north side of it.
I don't believe that Kenny turned in Crystal. So
no, I didn't see it.
So
Kenny's
he's
in the cart.
going for a Mirage Tower. He's going for floaterless.
Yeah, he's in the Cardi Islands, and I believe going at this point for Mirage Tower is the best play. You can at least get some experience there anyway. As you go up to potentially Warmech, we'll talk about Warmech later, and Tiamat. The question will be whether he feels it necessary to look for that floater, which would allow him to get the class change. If he does, he'll probably open some chests in this area. If he's not opening chests, he's going to go for it as he is.
Yeah, so Highspirits, despite how far behind he is, he's also put together a pretty solid attempt. He's made some of the more aggressive but theoretically correct decisions, and he's gotten burned quite a bit by some of this just the most disgusting luck that you can ever see in these seeds.
And also by a lot of Blaze, Cremate, and Fire.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned burned.
Yep. Blaze will burn you. As will Cremate. As will Fire 3.
And there's the crystal for Highspirits.
So when he finds this key, he's going to know that he's in theoretical go mode and can go floaterless. So we're going to see what Highspirits chooses to do with that knowledge.
Knowing that he most certainly feels behind right now, I think he's just going to book it.
Yeah, the question is, how do you book it fastest? I would expect him to turn in the crystal and see if that's floater, because if it is, it's going to get him to his fiend dungeons a lot faster than sailing there. He's still got both on-rack and Mirage Tower to go to.
I could see him turning in the crystal, but it would also take time to get there, and if it turns out that's not the floater, you're just wasting more time. So it's a really tough call whether he should do that or not.
Yeah, smarter people than me would have to figure out which one's correct, but either way, we'll see what he's going to do in a moment while KennyStarr nukes down some vampires.
Some what?
Well, when they're in Mirage Tower, they actually exist.
Oh, I see. Okay.
In the ROM that I use, I've changed the vampire's dialogue. He says, I used to be a mini boss, but when y'all started playing randomizers, I just became a meme. So it's the vampire's lament. I used to be important.
I used to be something. Now I don't. Oh, I still won't forget the vampire that actually won a battle back in the Platypus Invitation. I was on the call for that one. That was hilarious.
Oh wow. So Highspirits you're choosing not to save on his way.
Oh, it's the crowd.
Yeah, he's gonna take that crown and see what that is. He chose not to save, and that was smart because if Matoya had handed him that Thor hammer, he could reset and be outside the inner sea.
Exactly.
So he was prepared.
He's going to use that key and check the chests.
Oh, yeah, he's got the key. So he's going to route these chests in as well. He could find something like the Mass Mune.
He knows that if he finds the floater, he can stop opening chests. He knows that. So he's not going to be led on the goose chase by the floater anymore.
Yeah, we've got... And he finds the dragon armor, which is pretty nice. We have...
Get your Warmac calls in chat. We're already on the 5th floor. He went through that.
Yeah, get your SRNGs out.
That was a fast tower. Oh my goodness.
KennyStarr skipping all the chests. He knows he's in go mode. He's just going straight for Tiamat.
There's some slimes.
And he had one last encounter that was a chance, but it was slimes. It was not a Warmech. So here we are. He's going to enter the Tiamat pole.
Say hello, Tiamat.
So he's got a lot of caster items, a lot of interest in late game equipment, but we don't have the power bonk.
Oh, it's the Opal Cheerio.
So I mean, that's a good piece of equipment, but is not what we need.
He goes ahead and takes it and takes the fight.
Yeah, he's gonna come all this way. He's gonna go for it. You know, right now at this point, his only hope is for a really difficult Topher, because if he takes the time to dig out the floater and get that class change, Highspirits is going to have access to a lot of equipment. We've found Excal. We have not found Mass Mune, so... well, now we have. So absent Mass Mune, it's going to be an absent class change. It can be fairly hard to take on Temple of Fiends Revisited. You know, if this is a real easy seed, then KennyStarr is like there's nothing going to stop him right now. If he can one-shot Topher, then Highspirits cannot catch up. His only win condition is to be able to catch him in Topher.
Welcome to Credit Bridge. We haven't seen it yet. 1 hour, 24 minutes, we're on Credit Bridge.
So Highspirits going to check the chests in Dwarf Cave. We still haven't found a loose item, and he doesn't want to miss it here.
Actually, no, we have... Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was mistaken for a second there. He wants that pro ring, so he's going to get rid of something to acquire that.
KennyStarr sailing to the outside and walking. He's going to walk that crystal in. And he's going to find the crown. And let's see what he does.
Yeah, this will be probably an interesting reaction.
He's likely gonna turn in the crown or turn in the crystal, see that it's the crown, and just walk to Temple of Fiends.
I think he's just gonna walk to Coronaria, stock up, and then just walk over to Temple of Fiends.
Oh, he's not even turning in that crystal. He doesn't care.
Oh, he's just doing the long walk. It's quicker than sailing. At Credit Bridge at 86 minutes into the race. So that's 2 of the latest credit bridges you're ever going to see in a race.
Absolutely.
At least they're even on that.
Highspirits finding a lot of interesting equipment that's key locked, but he doesn't have a whole lot of room for it because he's got to hold on to his late game equipment and his current equipment. This is one of the problems when you can't class change early with four-man party. And at 1 hour and 26 minutes, KennyStarr is gonna walk into Temple of Fiends Revisited.
And will this be a nasty Temple of Fiends Revisited? That's the one thing that Highspirits has to hope right now. KennyStarr probably will not have a lot of problems with ambushes because he will get some of that turned off with the Thief, but we'll have to see just how tough some of these enemies are, especially the Fiend refights, because we've seen T-Mat, we've seen Oxia, and sometimes, yes, even Carry can be nasty.
Yeah, so KennyStarr fans are going to be rooting for an easy Topher, and at this point, it's hard not to be a KennyStarr fan. After seeing him blow through this seed, coming in as an underdog, someone who, up until this point, he has not finished an SRL race of Final Fantasy Randomizer. He has competed in 5 races, and he has conceded 5 times. So this is going to be the first time he finishes, and you got to be impressed with him. So if there's anyone out there who isn't a KennyStarr convert yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because he's shown he's pulled out all the stops here, going in here unpromoted, doesn't even care about floater. He's just going for chaos.
And he doesn't need the floater either. He knows he doesn't need the floater. He can go through the Temple of Fiends without having to fly anywhere. So, yeah, not very often you see the floater of seeds, and KennyStarr played on a gamble that those chests are not going to be needed. His gamble is paying off big time.
Yeah, we see fast at level 7. So, I mean, a lot of resources available to someone whose class changed. So we're going to see how Highspirits is going to handle this. Highspirits also knows he's in go mode. He knows that he still hasn't purchased that loot in Crescent Lake, but he knows where it is. So
well, we know Lich wasn't much of a problem in the revisit, in the refight. So let's see what Carrie has.
Yeah, so KennyStarr making his way through Fire Floor. Highspirits gonna skip the at least the 2 chests in the lobby, and he looks like he's not paying mermaids, so he may clear out some of the chests along the way, but it looks like he's not particularly worried about missing.
Oh, we have stop.
So we have, oh wow, we have Glance and Glare on the side of the Arsahag fight. I don't think we saw that either.
Already behind, it just gets worse.
Wow, Kenny totally dodged that, says Avis Ruin in chat.
Absolutely.
And Wizzahags, yeah, with the glare coming out on that fight as well. Yeah, Kenny did dodge that, and that's been a theme for this seed. Yeah, and that's correct. He could still see it.
Yeah, there is a water floor coming up. It is possible.
This is the FFR equivalent of, wait, there were red dragons in Charlotte. Yes, it is indeed. Except it's more, there were red dragons and armored knights in Charlotte. I didn't see either of those. Yes, Becty, it's just saying, oh, I didn't see the bad thing that you did.
Or any of the 5 bad things that you did.
I saw none of the pain that you felt.
I did not feel your pain.
Yeah, KennyStarr is going to come out and say, wow, that was a pretty straightforward scene. It didn't really run into anything difficult.
Yeah, we're making interview predictions now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to predict that he's going to say it's a really straightforward, easy seed, and he's surprised the Highspirits hasn't finished yet. That's probably what he's going to say. I'm not saying that in a negative way, obviously. Highspirits is just getting wrung in this seed. He's having a hard time here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things you just it's a drag to see, but it happens. You can drop the opal armor there, Highspirits, because you've got the dragon, and he figured that out.
So they have very similar encounters right now, except KennyStarr had a couple of sea trolls with his, and he has to settle for some hits.
Here's my question for you, Cyclone. Let's say you're Highspirits right now, right? Let's say KennyStarr finishes in like the next 5 minutes or the next 10 minutes. Do you continue?
Well, I might have had a different answer until I saw my two top fighters get stoned up there. At this point, I would say no.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's got some softs. He's got two ribbons on his two mages, and he's gonna use those to try and get through here. But yeah,
he has two softs. So another stone, and he's not gonna have a fighter for the Kraken fight.
Yeah, so KennyStarr with no revival down to 2 party members. So it's getting a little intense on Kenny's side.
At least he's at level 21.
Yeah, he's at level 21 with the Sun Sword.
So KennyStarr is on another seafood fight here. The lighter version only has lobster and trolls.
There's a good chance that in KennyStarr's position right here, I might warp out and try to save the levels. And just take another attack at this, because...
Well, he doesn't know. He just keep in mind that he thinks this is a completely straightforward seed.
Yeah, so he doesn't know, like, for all he knows, Highspirits could currently be fighting Chaos.
Yeah.
But
so
that 3 Fiend grind is very... And he's only got 5 heal pots. Yeah, that would seal it for me. But he's going to keep trying. He's going to push forward and see what he can do. He's got the defense sword.
Oh, we have a nuclear!
We've got a nuclear on... Oh, wow.
Well, he can't warp out now. This is go for it or reset.
Well,
that's a light.
He doesn't have to reset. He can just press A on the party death screen. So he's gonna give it another shot, but this is not the Topher that he was hoping for.
I'm wondering why he didn't go get more resources from the item shop.
Chat saying there's the gatekeeper. It could be a gatekeeper, but we still haven't seen Cure 4. We still haven't seen I think 2 nukes in those pools. It could.
Yeah.
Very well. We still haven't seen Slow 2, and we don't know if that's going to be a factor. Like very diverse sequence of our possibilities there.
At this point, you can be certain that KennyStarr is worrying that Highspirits is now ahead of him, and he's probably starting to get a little worried right now.
Yeah, whereas Highspirits is not worried that he's ahead. Highspirits knows probably exactly where he is.
Yeah.
KennyStarr going to take some levels. He's going to grind on the Temple of Fiends floor. This is not always a bad call. I would argue in this case it would be a very, very bad decision to just continue to beat your head against this Temple of Fiends.
He's being
making the right call.
He's being very cautious. Didn't mean to interrupt you, sorry. He's being very cautious, just like he was against those worms earlier when he was on that trap tiles. He wanted to make sure that he didn't lose his entire trip through ordeals and got out with what he needed, and he did. He's doing the same thing now. He's going to make sure he gets some levels, saves them, and then makes another trip.
Yeah, he started this seed with a grind on amps. He's just generally been very careful when he needed to be, or when he felt he needed to be. And in this instance, yeah, he needs to get some levels. He can't afford to wipe 6 times trying to go through. When you don't have the levels, and you don't have the equipment, and you don't have the class change, so you don't have the spells, the revival, you need something.
And some could argue, and I'm sure there's going to be some discussion on this in chat too, on the live end here. Some could argue that he needs to get down there and get the win, but if you keep beating your head against the wall and you get floored 3-4 times, at some point you're going to have to concede to, okay, I need to do something. He's gone ahead and gone to the I need to do something stage without beating his head against the wall 3 or 4 times. So his second trip, he's going to try and make it more of a productive trip in that case.
Yeah. He's his biggest asset. He does have 2 ribbons. So that can help him out. But he's in a spot where he's got just the Sun Sword. Gene doesn't have any weapon that's really worth swinging, right? His temper charges are all nuke charges as well, so he can't use temper. He doesn't have fast. He doesn't have the power gauntlet. He has the white shirt and the defense sword, so he's fairly decent in terms of defense, but he has very little in the way of offense. Hangry Canuck pointing out he's not getting by with the defense. He can't even equip the defense sword.
He doesn't have Masmian either.
You can't equip the defense sword without a class change. So he's currently swinging the Sun Sword.
Well, at least he's gonna bring a little light to Chaos's day.
And yeah, he can get through with the Sun Sword and tempers. Like, it can happen, but the problem is every temper charge that you use is a nuke charge you don't get to use. So Highspirits checking the chests in Mirage. This is not a bad play. He knows that the encounters here are worth a lot of XP. So
I don't think KennyStarr saved his levels. He's just going right in again.
Oh, that's. Are you sure? Because that means he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, he did save. Chad to say he did save. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, he would have to have saved because he blew all of his nuke charges to get those levels.
Yeah.
If you forget to save your levels and you're like replenish your magic going in, that's not ideal.
I didn't see him go outside, so I wasn't sure if he saved or not.
He's just doing everything fast. You blink and you miss it.
Hey, he went through the whole Sky Palace without me noticing. Like, I was watching to see what Highspirits was doing, because he was having some hard fights at that point.
Yeah, you're more likely to see a wipe on Highspirits side, so that's where everybody's been watching.
Yeah,
we want to see blood.
More blood.
Hangry Canuck pointing out the big problem. He's not going to do much damage with just the Sun Sword at his level. And yeah, he missed a lot of things that you don't need, but you need one of them. So you can get through without class changing. You can get through without mass immune. You can get through without fast, and you can get through without temper. You can get through without power bomb. But it's very, very difficult to get through without all of them. And when you add on to that, you also don't have any revival magic. It seems likely that Highspirits' plan of checking chests on the way it could pay off. If Highspirits finds a floater and gets his class change, he is going to have a way easier time through this.
Kenny is looking at his screen right now and realizing that his Black Magic caster is out. I'm not sure what's going on here.
I think he's trying to decide whether to go forward or back, because it's going to be hard to go forward with just 3 members. Are we too giggly for the seed? I feel like this is the kind of seed you want to laugh at, because the other option is to cry and to cry without any kind of consolation.
Kenny, I don't like the fact that he's sitting on this screen just staying here, because he is losing time deciding what to do. Either that, or maybe his screen might have frozen. We just didn't see it. That's possible too. But assuming that he is just sitting still, this is time being wasted on KennyStarr's side, giving Highspirits a free chance to catch up.
That's what is for me a rare DDG sighting. I keep trying to catch DDG's stream and I keep missing it. But yeah, DDG pointed out I am always mad, but This time, I'm just sad for a lot of the things that these runners have run into. And there is a loose floater for Highspirits.
Oh, there's that item.
So, Highspirits, finding that, he's going to skip a lot of chests now. He knows he's not only in go mode, but he knows that he's got, like, he just unlocked a bunch of spells that he wanted. He just unlocked a bunch of equipment he wanted. He's gonna run from the rock dolls that are cast in trance. Classic gamer saying, "I called it." Yeah, you did. You didn't call that the floater would be inside.
When you're not finding any early loot, it has to be in sky. So
that's actually sort of funny because all of those incentive checks, while they had a cube and chime, and if any of them had done the meme play and gone straight for sky, they would have been flying way earlier.
The game was trying to tell them something. They didn't do it. Not the game's fault.
Yeah, Canuck saying you got to give the edge to Highspirits right now. It's hard to say. If KennyStarr can get past that Kraken fight, then there's no telling what's up next.
It's really that Kraken fight that's going to be the gatekeeper for him.
Yeah, if Kraken is the only one that's really tough, and if Kraken low rolled on HP, then that could be easy, right? And Kenny could finish this run, like this dive. That said, if he's not, then Highspirits is going to be the one who has access to Dragon Armor. He's going to have access to X-Cal. He's already got Mass Mune. He's going to have access to Life 2 on his Red Mage. He's going to have access to Fast. And all of that is going to be very very useful for him.
I do have a question for you. I don't want to interrupt you, but if you're Highspirits, do you want to see a War Mech right now?
Actually, yeah, he'd probably take it. Highspirits not looking to grind right now. He wants to go fast. But he also wants to be able to pick up whatever XP he can on the way. That's why he's taking these slimes. So if he found a war mech, he'd probably be glad to kill it.
I'm thinking the same thing. So let's see if he gets that chance. I doubt he's going to try to run back and forth another time or two to try and generate one. But he knows he's behind at this point.
Yeah, he also knows where a few grind tiles are. So if he was going to look for XP, he would not be looking for it here. He's not even going to take this slime fight. He just wants to go.
Yeah, he healed up and didn't want to have to heal up again, so he wanted to get out of there quickly. So Tiamat is now released on Highspirit's side. Let's see if he can make up the difference in Temple of Fiend Revisited, where KennyStarr is currently fighting Carry. We are getting close to the second the re-fight for Kraken once again, second attempt at it. Carry goes down to a nuke.
And Ace is level 25 on Kenny's side. Level 25 is it's usually more than enough.
I know in the vanilla game, I think you're advised 26 to 28 is ideal. It's the butter zone to get through here, but I think that's the old advice. I'm not sure about the current advice.
Yeah, but, I believe that the world record route with no RNG manipulation has the fighter at level 17.
Oh wow! Then,
but swinging.
I'm talking casual, obviously. I'm talking casual.
Yeah, talking casual. Level 26 is typically about right, and you typically have the late game equipment because it's all about how many hits you're getting, and it's all about how much damage you're able to do.
It's being pointed out in chat that, again, he only has a Sun Sword. Will 25 be enough for that? That's the question we don't have an answer to. I don't think we've ever seen anyone pull that before.
Yeah, there's... I can't remember off the top of my head what the Sun Sword breakpoints are. I believe that they might be equal to X-Cal, at which point it would be 29 and 35 would be the levels at which you gain an additional swing. So with
Highspirits.
the Sun Sword, it would not. It's unlikely that the Sun Sword would be level 26 would be enough.
Highspirits is flying at 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 14 seconds. And Release the Kraken 2, we've had some nukes already going on. And I see the defense being used on Ace on Ace right now. Bane is attempted, nobody dies. White shirt goes out. More nukes. Not very high HP damage on the nukes. 103 on that last nuke attack.
Yeah, Kraken, not typically one with a lot of magic defense, but it's working now.
Paul is put in bed and is now taking a face nap.
With no revival available, Paul is dead for the remainder of this dive.
Yeah,
so
Paul
Kraken
is not coming
does
back.
go down. So now we're gonna see, and we're still low on heal pots. Right, not having any heal magic. Right, Paul going down means all of those Cure 4 charges are no longer accessible either. So.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Highspirits going to take this class change. Highspirits showing a little bit of experience here because he was still digging chests. He wasn't digging all the chests, but he was still digging chests because I think he knew that he did not have the equipment or the levels for a successful Temple of Fiends run.
TMAT 2 is pulled. Let's see how this works for KennyStarr. If TMAT 2 proves to be a gatekeeper himself, this is Highspirits' potential race to lose here. Zap is utilized. And Peter is thrown to the 4th dimension, and we now have a thief and a fighter, and that is it.
Yeah, it's unlikely for this fighter to get through. It is theoretically possible. He can defense sword up, and if Tiamat 2 is not particularly interested in casting spells and just continues to miss, then Ace could. Oh, Tiamat has no interest in handing this seed to anybody. Tiamat says, "You thought Kraken was bad. You haven't seen me yet."
There's the Fire 3. PO Pot's only do 30 at a time, and he's taking more damage than that. That nuke killed him. That is the fight. And KennyStarr has got to be wondering, what can I do here?
Yeah, and that's one of the dangers of skipping all the chests when you go through, is you have no idea where to go for anything. So it looks like KennyStarr gonna try some levels here. Nope.
At this point, Highspirits does have the advantage.
Absolutely, and at 150.26, Highspirits will walk into Temple of Fiends Revisited, and it's a drag to see someone struggle in Temple of Fiends, but Kenny just doesn't have the equipment. There's just too much that wasn't available to him, and we'll see.
They're literally high-fiving on the way down, though.
Yeah. Interestingly, Highspirits chose not to pick up a lot of the magic that just became available to him. So choosing not to grab any spell charges on the fighter makes sense, because the fighter needs to gain a few levels before he's going to have any spells. But also choosing not to pick up Life 2 on his Red Mage. So
Kenny already gets wiped on the Black Mage and quickly resets.
Yeah, so if Highspirits were to lose his White Mage, he would not be able to revive him. He has the option of taking a little bit more safety, but it doesn't look like he was interested in doing so.
The good news is the White Wizard does have does have a ribbon attached, I believe, still. So he's very unlikely going to be exiled to the 4th dimension or anything along those lines.
And Canuck pointed out, Kenny hasn't even refilled his heal potion.
I noticed that too.
Consistently run out of heal pots, and that's partly because you don't have a whole lot of white magic available, but it's also partly because you only have 69 going in there. You can buy a 30.
You can buy more if you want to.
Yeah, but you have to use them to. Yeah. Okay. Highspirits running into that 4 chimeras. Probably a lot of fond memories for that 4 chimera fight after what happened to him in Ice Cave. Just sort of a who's who of what was terrible with this seed.
Highspirits getting all the pleasant reminders of the fun he's had in this seed.
Yep. Thinking of the song Dust in the Wind as he runs into all of the... Getting all whimsical. So he's got the same level, roughly, as KennyStarr has. But all of this equipment matters. And at this point, there's no question which is more effective. The unpromoted thief or the white wizard with all of that curative and revival magic. So Highspirits definitely having an edge in this spot.
We'll have to see how the Fiends treat him. This could still be a race if the Fiends still do bad things to Highspirits as well.
Yeah, we could discover that Chaos is worse than Kraken and Tiamat too, and this could continue for a little bit, you know. And KennyStarr could clench one out, but you know, it's hard to predict. He is correct that he knows he can't go through with the levels that he had, so he's right to try to grind some more. I feel like at this point, Cyclone, would you at least check the key-locked chests in Temple of Fiends in Temple of Fiends?
If I were Kenny?
Yeah.
If you're going to spend time grinding, why not?
Yeah, there could be a delicious grind tile there. You could find a mass mune in there. Alright, you could find a third ribbon.
He won't find a Mazmoon. He won't find the Mazmoon.
Oh, he won't. But I mean, from his perspective, he's skipped all the chests. He's got 3 chests that he could find some equipment in there. He could find a loose floater in there.
Is that even possible? Could the floater be in here?
Yeah. The floater, because it's not a necessary item, as we've seen, the floater could be anywhere. It can't be in Temple of Fiends Revisited, but it could be in literally any...
That's what I meant, if it could be in Temple of Fiends Revisited in those 2 chests in the loot room, for example. But
oh, no, it couldn't be there.
Yeah, but that's what I thought you were talking about. Okay. So, but yeah, the only place it can't be other than that are places that are locked by the floater, which is, for example, Gaia, the item in Lufane, and that's about it, I think.
Yeah, and they did turn in the slab, too. So, Highspirits, if he has trouble and decides to go looking for stuff, he knows he's got a 50-50 chance of getting a power bonk just by going to Lufane. Because he did grab that Opal Cheerio as well.
Yes. So he's going to get the Water Naga buffet. And after he gets through this ambush...
He'll remember this fight as well.
All the memories come flooding back to him.
Not kind memories. As it looks like KennyStarr taking another go at this. He got some levels. And I didn't see exactly what level his fighter's at, but it's got
I think he gained 1 or 2.
Oh. So he's at level 28. And he's gonna warp right out and take those levels. Just because.
And the nuclear comes out on Highspirits side in the Kraken 2 fight, the white shirt being utilized. All 4 characters still alive in his team. So that is a fantastic start for him. As long as the white wizard does not go down, then he's probably okay.
Yeah, Highspirits making use of that fast spell.
Tornado!
Oh, and Tornado taking out the white wizard. And this is... So, interestingly, in Highspirits chose to use Heal 3 instead of using the white wizard's Cure 4 charge on herself. Which, I don't know if I would agree with, given that he didn't put Life 2 on his red wizard.
Now, the White Wizard did try to get out a heal 3. I don't think he got out before he was slain.
No, he did get that heal 3
he did
off.
get it out. Okay, so at
but
least he
it didn't high roll his HP. And, yeah, that tornado didn't need to kill him, but unfortunately it did, so...
That was a strong tornado.
Highspirits still looking pretty strong, but that was the first chink in the armor, and he's going to see what he can do.
Yeah, the question is, do you continue or do you go and get your life casting back? He is going to give it a go.
Yeah, it's hard not to continue here. Like, he's not concerned with the levels he's already gained. Even if he was going to wipe, if he's going to restart, he'd much rather see what Tiamat 2 is going to have for him. And he's going to discover that Tiamat 2 has nuke, and we'll see how he reacts to it.
Probably not very favorably.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, would it really surprise him at this point?
So Tiamat 2 is out here for Highspirits. This is the furthest we've gone so far. KennyStarr did take one of his falls here.
Yeah, we have yet to see what's past this. We've yet to see what's past nuke here. Oh,
Red Wizard is down. We're gonna low on magic for the Chaos fight.
Yeah, Tiamat 2 reaches out and touches that red mage.
At least that didn't do anything. Well, Tiamat doesn't have a lot of HP.
Tiamat 2 not with a lot of HP, but Highspirits is in a sort of a pickle here.
He's in the driver's seat, but at the same time, we don't know what kind of road he's driving down right now.
Yeah. Critically, that black mage did survive, so he's going to be able to get a fast cast off on this fighter.
And then, now how many fast casts do you do, or do you go straight to nuke after the first fast?
Yeah, and he did find a mass mune that KennyStarr did not, so he's going in here with a mass mune, with fast, potentially going to get like a temper charge off on him.
Oh, no, because I have no fast! No fast!
So Chaos...
And the fight! Oh my goodness, Chaos! What are you
doing? Chaos full of memes, and Highspirits is likely to go grab a revival spell on his red mage. He knows that that's going to be sort of critical for him.
Chaos is going to be a problem today, ladies and gentlemen.
So Chaos, not to be outdone by the other two fiends, is gonna hit like a not a huge truck, right? Maybe like a pickup truck, and but he's also. Well, oh, the red mage. Yeah, the red mage can't get the life 2. He can only get the life 1. I'm sorry, it was the life 1 that was red mage learnable, and Highspirits not going to catch that.
Highspirits says reminder that he can't get life 2, doesn't look for life 1, and just goes back in.
Yeah, maybe he'll see it in his white mage's magic at some point when he's trying to revive something. He'll go, oh yeah, I also have life 1. I wonder if that was in the second slot at Melman, so it was. White wizard or red wizard learnable, but not red mage learnable.
The only thing I can say is I'm glad I'm not going to be blamed for rolling this.
I'm sad that you didn't roll one. Like, if you'd rolled this one, that would have been great, but, on the other hand, if you'd rolled one, it wouldn't have been this one.
Yeah, probably not.
So yeah, KennyStarr entered. To be fair, he had a 25-minute lead, and Highspirits, to his credit, kept that lead steady. Like he wound up entering Temple of Fiends at first, 25 minutes after KennyStarr did. Right, so he didn't let that snowball.
KennyStarr is struggling to just make sure everyone stays alive right now. That's the main thing for him. He needs everyone to stay alive. He cannot revive anyone. There's no item that lets you revive. You have to do it by spells or by the clinic.
Yeah, and KennyStarr, I mean, he's used to a vanilla Temple of Fiends because he's run a lot of the vanilla Final Fantasy, so he's used to a Temple of Fiends that a solo fighter with a fast spell on could theoretically beat at level 17. This is not that Temple of Fiends.
No. And now 3 of KennyStarr's fighters have been turned stupid temporarily, and they're now out of that phase, and he's going to continue on.
Yeah. KennyStarr not aware that this party doesn't really have much hope of getting through. He's taken the levels necessary to get through Kraken and potentially to get through Tiamat, but he doesn't know that Chaos is also going to be opening with Nuke.
I wonder if using the Thief is something that KennyStarr does in the vanilla game, and this is something that works from in the vanilla runs. But of course, in Randomizer,
I can say 100% no, because without the fixes that the Randomizer provides, the Thief is just a really, really bad character.
Gotcha.
The Thief doesn't help you run.
Wow, that was a big hit on Ace there from Kraken 2.
The fighter immediately taken 540 some odd damage from Kraken's first turn. But assuming that Jean and Ace move before Kraken does,
Bane kills Jean and Paul and Peter.
He has 2 ribbons, so that killed one of them through a ribbon.
Oh my goodness!
KennyStarr, we all agreed was very, very lucky. This
I think he only has 1 ribbon
up until Temple of Fiends Revisited, but Temple of Fiends has not been kind to him.
I think he only has 1 ribbon.
Oh, did he not get the second ribbon? Oh, is he gonna walk back to his boat? Turn in your crystal, man. He didn't get that second ribbon in Earth, so he is significantly behind in equipment, and it's gonna be hard. Meanwhile, Highspirits making his way through the fire floor.
Comment in chat: the Kiss Army can't handle the smoke.
Were heal pots not available in Conneria?
Because
that might explain why he didn't bother to refill his heal pots if he knew he'd have to halfway across the continent to do it.
Oh, apparently they're not. I thought they were. Okay. No soft and pure have to be. So he's now sailing the high seas in search of something.
Yeah, he's still not turning in that crystal.
Maybe he wanted to get in the ship first and bring it over, because that's Matoya's cave right there. He could be going to the dock. Or no, there is no dock.
Maybe he will.
He just saw Matoya's cave and was like, oh, wait a second, I can go there.
Yeah, he's going to get the crown, and even if it's just the crown, right? Because we know that it's going to lead to the opal bracelet, which is going to be effective for the thief, but even though it's just the crown, he would get an additional 5% XP from it. And he was grinding a few levels, so that's the kind of thing. It's nice to find. Chat pointing out Highspirits is not close to out of the woods yet. We've still got 3 fiends remaining. One opens with nuclear, one opens with nuke, and the other one opens with nuke. So it's very easy to lose party members.
There's a lot of nuke, is what you're saying.
Yeah, this they're going full Cold War on us.
So we're gonna probably see a nuclear here.
So we're gonna get the fast off, hopefully, on
Yep, and 1 smack for 163 damage. Another smack for 357. Bane takes out the Red Wizard and the Knight!
Takes out the Knight. That is going to be... So he's going to be throwing out those nukes and just hoping that the nukes can work, but wow, that is not likely to go well. Oh, and the black belt is down, and the white mage, she won't even try. That white mage, he resets. So the white mage is abandoned in the limbo of maybe beating Kraken, but we all know she won't.
Yeah, High Spirits stops and ponders what to do, and I'm sure both runners at this point know that the other runner has probably found their way to Temple of Fiends Revisited. They don't know what situation each runner is in.
Yeah, High Spirits moving the ribbon to the fighter, which needs to happen.
Yeah, that's absolutely necessary. Fighter and White Wizard are where those ribbons should be, in my opinion.
So KennyStarr is going to find the opal bracelet, which is not going to be what he's looking for, but there's also a good chance that he's going to check the key locked here. And if he does, he will find the Mass Mew.
Notice the fight is not triggered if you're not able to hold the item.
Hangry saying this Temple of Fiends Revisited is horrible. It's not ideal, but it was exacerbated by just the lack of equipment available. And High Spirits not remembering that he can get revival on his Red Mage at level 5. High Spirits not having, unfortunately, because he promoted so late, that knight has no spell charges. So that knight won't be able to learn Cure 4, which would be very useful. There are a lot of things that could make this easier.
One thing that's bad in KennyStarr's case, he doesn't have the white magic, but he also doesn't have the black belt in this party. And the black belt is a good backup if you're having a situation where you have very nasty fiends. Get that black belt before you too, and guess what? You're punching everything in 2 shots. So,
one of the things that I've been doing is I've been running a Danned black belt, because if I don't find anything, if I had a seed like this where I'm ready to enter Temple of Fiends, but I don't have any strong weapons, and I don't have class change, I don't have any strong magic, black belt's always your sort of get out of fail free card.
I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, and I've seen races where that's come to be the deciding factor in the race, come from behind races like that. So it really can, there are races where it really can come in to use. If you can find a way to combine both of them in one party, you're probably going to be in a good position.
Sorry, KennyStarr ran into the mummies, still got turn orders, still couldn't get it by the places. The meme continues.
The glorious memery.
But, at least we can be fairly certain he won't come into the interview and say, well, that was a pretty straightforward seed.
Yeah, at least we got that part of the interview out. That prediction is gone. That's off the table now. So KennyStarr is now off to check the pots and see what he can find as equipment. This is probably long overdue. Homer
is correct that Excal is in Earth. However, Floater is in Mirage, or rather in Sky. It is unlikely that Kenny is going to sail to Mirage to see what that has. And he won't, he's not likely to find the Floater. He's not likely to promote, and that means he's not likely to make any use of that Excal.
What do you predict that when he gets to the Excal, if he ends up picking it up, he's just going to go to the menu and drop it?
It's
just
hard to predict.
Just do the meme. Do a meme.
It's hard to predict what a new runner will do. You don't want to drop the Excal. I don't expect him to, because he's gonna wind up checking any chest that he checks from KennyStarr's perspective could contain Floater. And anytime he finds Floater, he knows he has class change, he has revival magic, he has go mode, he will be equipment go mode, he will be fine. Right? So if he finds Excal, he's probably gonna if he found more unequipable armor, he'd probably try to hold on to it.
Apparently this loose floater is a very common thing this week. I'm not actually surprised by that. And yeah, this one was up in the Mirage Tower. Actually, no, it was in the Sky Palace, the 3rd floor of the Sky Palace. And this is not the first time I've seen it on the 3rd floor of Sky Palace in this tournament on a race that I've called. It happened last week as well.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in fairly recently, this is Final Fantasy Randomizer between Highspirits and KennyStarr. They are both 0-1 in this tournament and looking to improve to 1-1. They've both had access to Temple of Fiends Revisited for quite some time, and they have not been able to get past it. It's been a fairly rough Temple of Fiends, and this seed had a non-required floater in Sky Palace, which for both runners was the last dungeon they went through. So in both instances, they didn't need to find it. Highspirits managed to dig it out. KennyStarr did not. So KennyStarr's been trying to deal with this Temple of Fiends Revisited with no class change, having just the Sun Sword. It has not gone his way.
And even at level 28, he's not getting anywhere with it. So he has decided to bail for now, go to Earth Cave, look for equipment, and he just wants to find the Mazmoon right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because he went and turned in that crown, but failed to check the key chests in there. Because if he had just gone a little bit around that corner and found those key lock chests, not only, like, he didn't check those grind tiles, like, he could theoretically find 3 eyes and go, oh, hey, like, let's do this. But he could also find what we know is there, which is the mask.
Kraken went down 2 turns, but he did do Kraken things, and did get a Bane out. That did take the Red Wizard down, brought back to life. No big problem there. Okay,
so Highspirits, this is the first time we're going to see him face Tiamat 2 with the full party. So this could be the dive.
Well, we'll see how the nuke treats him. And it looks like the enemies are generally going to the back row right now. He tried to keep the fighter in front to absorb damage. Didn't work out. Everyone else is taking the hits.
Yeah, so he's making use of those temper charges. He's just trying to get through this fast. I mean, he's been through this Tiamat once before. He knows this Tiamat does not have a whole HP, but also is particularly keen on taking your HP. I believe they call it a glass cannon. So he's using nuke for the second round because he knows Tiamat could fall and does right there.
He was given a free turn. The ink did nothing, and that was literally a free fight for him. No damage, nothing wrong.
Yeah, Tiamat 2, interestingly enough, is very RNG based because she can either open with nuke from her spell list or with ink from her skill list. So that's and she's got low enough HP that she can die in one. So full party, we're facing chaos. As has been said, this is a huge opportunity.
Let's see if he can finish it off right now. And this could probably... I don't know if KennyStarr will finish after this because he's been... he has a lot of chest digging to do if he wants to finish this. So let's see if Highspirits can end it.
Yeah, taking a turn to buff up. The chaos not hitting very hard, but now throws out the nuke. But the fast has gone off. The red mage is out, and 8 hits, 1,039 damage.
Going down
chaos,
next.
Can't take too many hits like that. Cure 4 is going to go out on that night. Let's see if it gets through. 717 damage. Chaos already 1,700 in the hole. And the temper charges mean that night is only getting stronger.
Gonna go right now, I think. Nope, still more. That was another 819,
7 hits,
I think. So
819 damage. Chaos has taken 2,500 damage already.
Above vanilla.
Yep, he's well above vanilla.
26.
And
3,800 damage.
More, that'll do it. So we get an official SRL time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and an impressive come from behind victory. Get your GGs out in chat for Highspirits.
2 hours, 15 minutes, and 48 seconds. And I'm a little early on this, but I'm just going to go ahead with it. KennyStarr did put in a forfeit.
KennyStarr going to forfeit. You can't blame him. He's at the point where he's wandering around the map just looking for things. There's no there's no easy way to continue. So you hate to see it, but it's not like it wasn't expected. So
I think he's going to continue to explore even with all of the even knowing that he's forfeited. And not maybe he just maybe the restream was just catching up. So now he's gotten to the point he just saw the channel and he just put in the forfeit there, I think. So yeah, he is done. We're finding out if they both want to join us. I'm checking to see in the channel right now if they have joined us. And at this time, neither has, but we will find out and we will bring that up. In the meantime, let's see if we can bring up information on the schedule for tomorrow. I do see Highspirits has just joined us. GG.
Thank you. That was rough.
That was an interesting seed, Highspirits, because all the things that you saw, KennyStarr had a thief in the place of your white mage, and somehow just got turn order and managed to run. And I don't think he ever saw that mummies had blaze. I don't think he ever saw that asps had cremate. I don't think he ever saw that the ogres were death touch. Like, he went through Earth Cave in one go and just got a massive orb lead. He was in Temple of Fiends Revisited at 1:30, but he wasn't checking chests after he hit go mode, so he didn't find that floater, and he didn't find mass mune.
Yeah, I after I got go mode, I'm like, okay, one of two things has to happen. I have to find the power gauntlet, or I have to find the floater. So I was trying to check a bunch of chests without going terribly out of the way, and I just happened to come across mass immune, checking for those things, and then the floater, and I'm like, thought I was good to go, and then the 4 bosses in there had surprises for me.
Yeah, you went to get life 2 for your red mage. You couldn't, but you could have got life for your red mage. Life
I
1
didn't remember which slot
red
right,
mage.
and so I was like, ugh.
But you didn't wind up needing it. That showed a fair amount of experience on your part, because you knew that you were in go mode in terms of being able to get to Temple of Fiends. So you stopped checking every chest, but you were still looking frantically for something that you could use to kill a fiend. And that minor difference turned out to be a major difference.
Yeah, that's just what it was. Is I'm like, I need something. I didn't care what it was, just something. I'll be good to go. And then it took a while, and I was just angry at myself because I was trying to decide, do I want to go to water first or air? Because if I would have went to air first, I would have had a lot less headaches in water, because while the glance and stone, the stone touch and all the good stuff that was in the unrunnables in water, and I just still worked out in the end.
Yeah,
I just wish I would have went to air first. I was arguing with myself about it.
Yeah, we were like, our hearts went out to you. You saw everything that it was possible to wipe to, right? We were saying it's funny that Cyclone didn't roll this seed, because this looked like a Cyclone seed from your end. And we were saying, if Temple of Fiends Revisited is easy, then KennyStarr is going to come out and say, wow, that was a really straightforward seed, because he saw none of it.
He got through that Earth Cave without batting an eyelash. Literally just went 1 to 5, got through speed bump, got through Lich. Oh, that was straightforward. Nothing. Okay, off to fire, off to the volcano, and got through that straightforward. Okay, off to Sea Shrine, got through that straightforward. Didn't open any of the loose chests, any really out of the way chests along the way. Missed a lot of the equipment, and that gave me the equipment advantage in Temple of Fiends Revisited, but he also didn't get the floater out of the Sky Palace.
He didn't get the second ribbon or the X-Cal, which didn't wind up mattering because he didn't have the floater. Right? Like, yeah. There was a huge equipment discrepancy. And that turned out to be the game.
You know what probably tilted me the most in Earth Cave was that attempt on Lich where he resisted all 3 of my nukes and I couldn't kill him.
Yeah, and we were saying, because we had just seen how much HP he had. He had something close to like 500 or 550, right? So we knew that he was very, very close to dead at that point. We were like, oh, if only he had moved the Sun Sword, if only he had moved the Light Axe.
Yeah, the Light Axe is what got me. I was like, I knew I should have moved the dang Light Axe. I would have been fine. But I was trying to tell, like, okay, I got 1 life too. I'm like, who do I bring up for this fight? And I'm like, I have 3 nukes on my red mage. There's no way I cannot beat this guy with 3 nukes. And I'm like, all I had to do is not resist 1 of them, and he resisted all 3 of them.
Yeah, that was rough. Like, I was like, someone said in chat, oh, he didn't remove the Sun Sword, and I was like, yeah, he could have to optimize, but he's got 3 nukes. We know that Lich has low HP. He should be good. And then I'm sorry, I might have commentator cursed you. because all 3 of your nukes rolled for lower than 200.
That entire seed was a curse for me. GG, Kenny.
Yeah, let's welcome KennyStarr to the conversation here. We had forgotten to mark the forfeits. That was our fault for not getting him in here sooner. Apologies to that. That was, Kenny, that was a pretty straightforward seed for you until Temple of Fiends Revisited, wasn't it? I think he's muted. Or maybe his mic's not working.
All right, well, we'll give him a moment to get that figured out. But nope. Okay. So in the meantime, Highspirits, can you comment a little bit on that last progression of fiends, that last gauntlet there?
Yeah. What do we see? Nuke. Let's see. It was the what? It was the Kraken fight I got into. I'm like, okay, gotta buff myself up. And then what was it? It was like Inferno followed by Cyclone. I'm like,
yeah, Tornado, Bane, Nuke.
Tornado, yeah, and then Bane. You know, I think he had Nuclear too, or was that one team?
Oh yeah, it was Nuclear. It wasn't Nuke. It was Nuclear. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like they all started melding together, and then it's like, and then I get to Chaos the first time, and it's like, starts off with a nuke, didn't get any of my buffs off. I'm like, cool, just one more defense sword, I'll probably be fine. Outturned me, hit me twice, you know, in a row for like 250, 300 damage each, and I was like, there's nothing going right with that one. And then the second attempt was the Bane, and it's like, are you kidding me? Not again.
Yeah, and you know, you always remember to move your ribbon, but you like I do the same thing that you did. You move your equipment and then you don't save after. You save and then remember to remove equipment. So then your second dive, your ribbon wasn't on the fighter anymore.
Yeah, because the thing that got to me is like I paused there. You probably saw the pause, and I'm sitting here thinking, did I just get baned through a ribbon? No. Yes.
Nope, you did not.
And then I went and I checked, and I'm like, nope, I didn't. And then the last attempt there, he baned again, and someone actually resisted it without a ribbon. Like, really?
Yeah, you know, you'd expect that your fighter with the levels that he has, you know, he's got a decent shot of resisting it, but at the same time, we commented several times, if all you needed was good luck, you were screwed. Because you had some terrible luck in this whole seed. You couldn't get turn order on wizards or on a mummy's rat. Literally save your life.
And I got back attacked by about 75% of the seed too. That didn't help out.
And by the way, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, by the way, you were talking about being back attacked by the mummies and having them cuss and blaze all the time. I don't think Kenny saw that once.
Yeah, Kenny was back attacking the Death Touch ogres, so he never saw them attack. He back attacked a lot of the mummies. You know, even like after he wound up finally noping out of Temple of Fiends Revisited, he went back to Earth Cave to start digging chests. He ran into mummies. He still didn't see Blaze. Like he just could not get hit by it. I know he ran into mummies he ran into a large pack of mummies in Mirage Tower and got turn order, so he didn't run into that either. You know, and with only one ribbon, any one of those could have been a wipe, but you know, he just was real lucky up until that point, and you had the opposite.
That's randomizer. It's what you expect. I don't know. I try not to fret over it too much. It comes, it goes, and then there's most cases I should not have won this race, but you know,
I don't know about should. You showed
happens.
A lot of resilience. You showed like this should be a lesson to anybody who's new and is watching. You don't give up. You know, you played to your win condition, right? You probably could only win if Temple of Fiends Revisited was difficult, and if it was, you would need something to get through it. So you continue to dig chests, you found floater, and you knew that was where you were ready to go.
I see KennyStarr has rejoined us. Is the mic working now?
It is, yeah. I had to get another headset.
Glad to have you in here, Kenny. Can you tell us how that went for you?
Well, it started out really well. And then I realized I was in go mode without the floater, and I was like, hey, this is great. And of course I got into Topher, and it was brutal.
Yeah, Temple of Fiends Revisited. Like we're commenting, there's a lot that you didn't have. Like you don't need a class change, and you don't need revival magic, and you don't need fast. You don't need a lot of temper charges. You don't need power bonk, and you don't need mass mune, but you generally need one of them. So when you're going in with none of it, we were like, well, if this is an easy Temple of Fiends Revisited, then he's going to be fine. And if it shows any resistance whatsoever, your boat was so far away, it was going to be hard for you to dig chests, and floater was loose in sky, and we were fairly confident you weren't going to go check Mirage. Yeah, third floor sky. So we were confident you weren't going to go get that. So it was one of those things where once you got to Temple of Fiends, it was going to be real rough. The only other thing, you went and grabbed the opal bracelet from Astos, but you didn't check key locked in there, and there was a mass mune sitting there waiting for you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to check the key lock chest. Yep.
Yeah, it happens. Still very, very strong performance from you. We're going to expect to see a lot of great, strong performances from you, because when you enter Temple of Fiends a half hour ahead of your opponent, that usually says good things about where you're going.
It does. You played that very well, and you also, by the way, you did get very lucky. There were a lot of things you did not get to see. I don't know if Highspirits here has a laundry list that he wants to rhyme off to you, but
what did I spend? 30 minutes in Earth? 20 to 30 minutes in Earth dying to blaze mummies?
You lit your Earth orb about 11 minutes, I think, after he did. But
I was in Earth like at 20 minutes or something too.
Yeah, but
like
you
20
also
or 25 minutes I was in.
Yeah. You also went to like chimeras in Ice Cave.
After I did that mini grind on the fighters too.
Yeah.
After
the mini grind, like nothing was going your way. Like you could not get turn order.
And don't feel bad, Kenny. I did 3 Topher dives before I finally get it too. So.
Yeah,
and I had all that gear that they mentioned. I had the Masmune, the floater, the class change, the rivet, 2 rivets. I had all of that stuff. It still took me 3 attempts.
If the Fiends were not as bad as they were, you might have won that race, Kenny, because you were there way ahead of him. And you could have pulled that off if the Fiends were not as bad as they were. But unfortunately, the Fiends wanted you to have the equipment. They wanted you to have the spells. They wanted you to have things like that today. And that's what it came down to, I think.
Yeah, it's one of the things you see a lot from, like, something that can separate someone who's fairly new to someone who's real experienced is just the adaptation. So, I mean, you ran through very, very quickly. We can tell that you're a speedrunner. We can tell that you run this vanilla game a great deal and that you know how to go fast. But as soon as you run into something that you don't know how to deal with, Highspirits just... His experience allowed him to make the right adaptations, and you still had to, like, that's where you got a little bit to learn.
Also, I want another laundry list of things. Don't forget to triple check that all your key bindings work before the race starts, so you don't spend a minute at the beginning of the race wondering why your controller suddenly stopped working 30 seconds later than it would when I had tested.
Yeah, we forgot about that. Yeah, you're had to rebuild your whole party.
And then my controller stopped working, so I had to rebind everything. It still didn't work. I rebinded again, and then it worked, but it forced me to reset to create my party again. So it took away all my cool names, and I'm like, I just have to go. And that wasted about a minute at the start. Right?
Yeah, it was about 1 minute and 9 seconds when you hit start, I think. So that could really start things off in a bad way.
You should have said something, Highspirits. I would have started over.
Oh no, that's nothing. Oh yeah, by the way, you didn't see the Death Touch Ogres either. I saw plenty of those.
Ogres had death touch?
They had Death Touch. They had Death Touch.
Yeah, they did.
One more thing. What was turning you to stone, High Spirits?
Oh, that was the Sahagins, the R Sahagins.
Yeah, the Arsahags
So in
had
water-
a glance.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
in water
Kenny?
you had 8 of them doing 6 of them or 7 or whatever doing glance to you, and the other 2 were instant killing your party.
Yeah, so we're gonna get ready for some final tier. So, High Spirits, was there anything that you wanted to say?
Pretty sure I vented enough already. Thank you for the raise, Penny. Thank you everyone for
Thank
putting
you,
this
High
on.
Spirits.
Yeah. GG to you. High Spirits advances to 1-1. So we look forward to seeing his next races. I believe your first loss was to Dengwu. Is that right?
Yeah, Danglu got me because I got those nuclear airs.
Yeah, Dengwu.
Everyone in the
very
Final
fast
Fantasy
runner.
community gets to see my RNG now for at
Danglu-
least 6 games. You saw it in the
Danglu, one
first
of the
game with those
champions.
stupid airs.
Yeah, so no besmirchment there to lose to Dengwu. Kenny, you're still fairly new, but you're advancing very quickly. You got any final thoughts for us?
Thanks, High Spirits, for the run, and everyone in the Final Fantasy community. You all are great, and I appreciate everything you do. It means a lot.
All right, so I'm going to throw this to Cyclone to close this out. First, I'm just going to go ahead and thanks Cyclone for joining me in the commentary booth. Thank you to our runners, High Spirits and KennyStarr, for joining us on this stream. Thank you to Avis for tracking. Thank you, of course, to Speed Gaming for hosting us. Make sure you give these runners a follow. High Spirits is a well-known runner. He's a marathon runner as well as having a litany of other games that he plays, and give KennyStarr a follow as well. He's someone who's run a lot of vanilla Final Fantasy. Thank you, and I'm a last word. I'm gonna throw that over to Cyclone to close this out.
Usually I leave that honor for my co-commentator, but I want to talk about the schedule very quickly before we move on too, because there is still one more race going on tonight between Leggy Starscream and Hyper Nova 1.
Hypes Nova 1, yes.
Hypes Nova, sorry, I always do that. My apologies.
Mispronunciation of his name is a meme, so I think someone will clip that and he'll be glad to hear it.
So anyway, that is scheduled to be on Speed Gaming 3, that same channel that we're on right now, in about 42 minutes time. So keep an eye out for that. Chasenator and the Real Super Pleb are scheduled to do the commentary on that one, do the call for you. So stay here, hang out with them for that race, and I may hang around too. I may see you in chat for that as well. Other races going on. I'm going to cover some of the Speed Gaming schedule first because we're on Speed Gaming side. Burt Reynolds versus Tarnin is the first race on Speed Gaming side tomorrow at 3 p.m. Then we have Dengwu versus Jazz Raptor at 5 p.m. These are on Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 4, respectively. All times Eastern Time, by the way. Eastern Time Zone, Toronto, Ottawa, and Florida and New York time. Later on, also at 5 p.m., we have Lord Fizzlebeef versus Demarine 2 on Speed Gaming 5. And then finally at 10 p.m., we have Asher1611 versus Sho Fukumachi on the main Prime Speed Gaming channel to wrap up the week on the Speed Gaming side. I believe I did not see any races scheduled on Monday at this point. Other races going on are scheduled on Randomania, and those are between Jay Cooper and Gans Gone Wild at 7 o'clock, Captain Nerd 2 versus Magius at 8 o'clock tomorrow. All those times again Eastern Time, so keep an eye out for those races tomorrow. 6 races tomorrow, and I believe that's going to wrap up the week. So with that said, we already have the runner links in chat for those who want to follow the runners. If you do want to follow my co-commentator, please do so. And that would be Elastoid once again. So thank you for joining me in the commentary booth.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
And I didn't actually check who our tracker was, so I'm just going to make sure I quote that correctly.
That was Avis Ruin. Avis, who just had a race last round against KennyStarr, so trying to keep it all in the family.
I want to thank Avis Ruin for doing the tracking as well. I was just hadn't forgotten who it was, so I apologize for that, Avis. But thank you so much for doing the tracking for us today. We do appreciate that. Very hard job to do for a randomizer game, especially for this game. I've tried it for this game, and it's really hard. Good job keeping the buttons pushed. Thank you for your help. And with that said, make sure everyone you follow Speaking 2 through 6 for all the races going on here. Randomania 2 through 4 for all the races going on there. And I think we also have some races on RPG Limit Break once in a while. So you can follow them as well. You can catch some of this over there as well. So with that said, I want to thank everyone for watching, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for some of those races tomorrow. I know I'm on call for a couple of those myself, and I will see you then for those. Other than that, have a great night. And last one, I'm going to give you the final word. Good night, everybody.
Oh, yeah, my final word is going to be thank you to everyone for watching. If you need any more information about Final Fantasy Randomizer, the Discord link is in chat. Meantime, you guys have a great one. I hope to see you in another race.